All right, everybody, welcome. We are in week 7 of the Lost Mines of Phandelver. It has been a hoot so far. We're having a good time. But last week, we ran into a little bit of a trouble where we had two of our characters meet an unfortunate disaster. So we are going to figure out what happened to them. But first, we got a little bit of bookkeeping. First of all, I want to say congratulations to Waif and Gashar because they are now level 3. Nice. All right. Well, good job, everybody. So as we kind of hit level 3 here, we're going to kind of learn a little bit more about your characters. You've been living with them a little bit and kind of exploring what their personalities are. And so now that you hit level 3, let's just talk about your characters a little bit and just kind of tell us what you are, kind of what your level 3 progression is, and then maybe a little bit about your backstory, because we've not really heard much about your characters yet. So now that you've been around a little bit, let's hear it. Let's have Waif go first.
So what do you want to know first?
Why don't you kind of tell me, give me a little bit about your history. All we know about you is that you were part of this group that was working with the dwarf to get some supplies, but what happened before that? Why are you even with them?
So Waif, from as pretty much as early as she can remember, has been living on the streets of Neverwinter. Something happened when she was very young and essentially orphaned her onto the streets. And as a tiefling in a mostly human settlement, dwarves and tieflings are very, very, very small minority there.
Right.
Basically shunned, demon child, devil child, whatever. Mm-hmm. Right. So a lot of torment.
Yeah.
She went through. And as she started getting really hard, very bitter, kind of towards the end of her solitude, essentially. As she also aged as a female, tends to get a little more attention of an unwanted sort.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah.
Right. And during this entire time, she's heard these whispers in the back of her mind, in the back of her head. You don't deserve this. Everybody hates you. You can do better. You can watch them burn. So all these things are just like echoing, and she has no one to talk to about it. So she doesn't know anything about it.
Yeah,
right?
please seek therapy if you need it.
Right, exactly. Precisely.
No.
So pretty much when she met Gundren, who she owes as part of her background, or she has a bond. She owes a debt that she can never repay, and that person is Gundren. Basically, when she became a warlock, she was assaulted by a group of young men, young boys, whatever. Okay. And things were going to go south really fast. And that voice in the back who said, I can make them pay. I can give you power to make them pay. And at that point, she terrified, she broke down and said, yes. Power infuses her, right? Her eldritch blast starts to come into effect, and the hex starts forming around her horns and things like that. Still probably would have went very poorly for her, but then Gundren burst in at that precise moment, basically beat the shit out of all those kids, and then took her in to kind of join the rest of the group.
Nice. So he was like her first hero in a way.
Yeah.
So he kind of
she feels like she remembers there was someone else prior to that, but basically, she can't remember that far back.
Got it. Well, that's why you're here to help Gundren out and just beyond, instead of just delivering these supplies, you have a kind of a reason to rescue to Gundren and get him back. Cool.
Yeah, her background is urchin, obviously.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool. Well, great. And for your third level subclass, what did you choose?
I took Pact of the Tome. Nice. So when she she's going to have a little encounter when we rest. But she's basically going to get a book. The book's going to teach her things and tell her things. So,
all right, we're gonna figure out what all that stuff is. All right, and Gashar, we're also level 3 now. Congratulations. Why don't you give us a little bit more about the background of your character and what everyone else might not yet know about you?
Sounds good. So Gashar is a monk, dragonborn. I was double checking really quick on the color. Make sure I get that right. He's bronze dragonborn, and basically spent his early childhood out in very rural part of north of Neverwinter, playing with his clutch mates in an isolated enclave. The small enclave belongs to the Gesh clan. A lot of the dragonborn are clanned up basically, but this clan is this enclave has begun adopting derivative names similar to the humans that do this. So rather than being the Gesh or Gesh-O, as his name would have been, they sort of tweak it a little bit for people. So Gashar is his name. There are a few other names in the Gesh clan. We can get into that, but yeah. So at age 15, when he became an adult, his clutch was sent to Neverwinter to find work, learn the ways of the world, and bring honor to the clan. So having seen the innate magical abilities of his elder clanmates, finding his own study in martial arts quite consuming, he was most interested in the other path to magic through devoted study in the art of wizardry. So when he arrived in Neverwinter, he was able to talk to the wizards at one of the schools, and was able to show that he had some ability, that he could read Draconic and could be an assistant there, and basically started as a sage, wizard's apprentice. So that was his background now as a young adult. When he was there, he learned some new languages, Elvish and Infernal. He also tried his hand at wizardry as well. Never really got the hang of it, struggled with that formulaic approach to wizardry. It just didn't feel natural to him. But he kept studying it, kept studying martial arts, and his own innate magical abilities with his breath weapon and some other things that some other tricks he sort of felt he can do. He also read every book he could get his claws on. And one question that consumed his personal studies was the varying natures of magic, right?
Okay.
You've got the drain magic that's sort of built right in. You have sorcery, you've got wizardry, you've got the magic of the divine, right? How does this all work? How are they the same thing and yet different? You know?
So what did you pick for your focus for your third level of your character?
Yes, so it picked Way of the Shadow.
Oh, and cool, yeah.
So
nice.
Right at this moment, basically, he is sort of piecing together some of his own monk training, his innate abilities, and the stuff he's learned from wizard school, and he now does have some spell abilities that he can do.
That's pretty cool.
So
that's exciting.
Yeah, a little bit of a twist on the stuff that like there's no material components. He doesn't need that. So it is pretty innate. So
what brought your character in to interact with Gundren?
Just a chance meeting.
Okay.
Gashar is a large creature, 6'6", 250 pounds. He was on campus. Gundren came across him in the halls, after he'd overheard a confrontation, and said, kind of looked way up to him and was like, "Well, aren't you a big lad?"
Yeah.
And Gashar, was in his monk
attire,
sparring attire, and he said, "Yeah, absolutely. How can I help you?" And he's like, "Well, actually, I might have something you could help with." So
sweet.
Thought he'd get a way to make a little coin on the side.
Perfect. Well, congratulations to the two people who are level 3. So now that we are all well addressed and well crafted at level 3, we can continue on with our adventure. If you remember last time, there was several things that happened in the town of Phandelver. The group brought your goods into town. You had some problems getting it turned in though, because 2 of your party members unfortunately dropped. So they ended up passing out. You took them over to see Sister Garaele, And she told you that they were infested with some kind of a beetle. And that when they took all their arms and armor off and everything, you saw that these beetles were embedded in their skin, kind of halfway through, their little legs moving, pretty gross. And
Sembian crotch.
yeah, I don't know about that, but
Massive ticks.
yeah, just giant. And she had to cut them out and then heal them up afterwards, kind of extinguishing all. You get that she is a priest of some sort, but she's probably not that very high a level, or she is probably some psychic levels or whatever. Yeah.
What was her name again?
Garaele. See, Garaele.
And priest of luck, right?
Priestess of luck. Yeah, she handled the shrine of luck. What she's doing in town, or maybe she's just there for that, you're not sure. She had indicated, though, while she was in the process of healing you, that she may have other things that she would want you to do. You tried to give her some money, but she said no, but I may have other tasks for you to do. With that, you went and eventually turned in all of your goods from both the Lion Shiocaster and the Barthen's provisions, and then made your way over to see the town master. Now, of course, you could call him town master, you can call him sir, as we indicated, but the town master, he eventually agreed to pay you 250 gold to get rid of the orcs that are down the Triboar Trail in a place called the Wyvern Tor. So you have a quest option there if you choose to take that up. But unfortunately, when you return to Sister Garaele, they said that Finnis and that Hemo were in dire straits and could possibly die if you did not bring them a particular flower. You had no choice because the DM likes to railroad you. You had no choice.
There is a choice.
That's true. I apologize. I was right.
Just let us die.
Yeah,
This is true. It is a choice. It's not a good choice, but it is a choice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Not our first choice.
So you decided to head off south down the Miners Trail. So you took off down the Miners Trail to find this flower that is supposedly within some of the old mines that were up in the hills. But they warned you, Sister Garaele warned you that the trail, the Miners Trail, was old and that there were going to be creatures there. And they warned you that there may be gnolls up there. Unfortunately, the first thing you ran into was a campment, and you had heard before that the rock seekers were camping to the south. You found what you think was their camp, and in that camp it was an Ankeg who attacked you. You scared it off, thankfully, after it did a little bit of damage to different people.
It tried to eat me.
It did. How inconsiderate. Didn't even use any. I mean, if it wasn't like you're
Didn't even buy a dinner first.
So they were dwarves.
the dead around you were all humans. They had patches that were from Waterdeep. So
Yeah.
so they were clearly hired, and you found a partially bloodied message saying that they were hired. Then shortly after, you ran into Connor Bartlerum, who confirmed that was where the rock seekers were camped. But where they are, what happened to those two dwarves, you don't know. So looks like all the dwarves from the rock seekers have been taken. Is it happen chance, or is it some kind of conspiracy? You eventually ran into some gnolls, though, on your way up the trail, and that's where we ended after dispatching the gnolls and heading up toward the different mines that are up there. And there's dozens of dots of mines up there, and they're all old. Nobody goes into these old mines anymore. So that brings us to the question of, with the surviving non-infected members of the party, what are you guys going to do?
Grab flower, bring back.
All right. I didn't realize we brought the Hulk with us.
Smash floor.
Yeah. Gashar smash. The elegance of the monk.
Did we search the bodies?
I don't think you
Refresh my
did.
memory.
No,
I don't think you did. So feel free to search
Let's
them.
search, see what we can find.
All right. Rummaging through the bodies of the gnolls, you find that they have pouches full of different types of goods that you could use to craft items out in the field, like whetstones and things like that are random. Some of them kind of made. You just found some whetstone flint or whatever. There's a little flint and steel that you found. But also amongst them, they carry a spattering of coins with them, and they each carry a few of these coins. So I'll just give you the total for all of them if that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good.
So you find amongst them, you find 28 silver pieces, but more importantly, you find 18 gold. I found gold.
Nice.
Yeah, so there's 18 gold pieces amongst all these knolls.
You putting that in party treasure, Mr. Bard?
I will.
Perfect. Great. Now that you are got all your treasure put together, what would you like to do? You can head back to town, or you can head up into you're very close to where all of the mines are right now. And it's still relatively early in the day. You still have a little bit of light left. So you think if you get the flour pretty soon, but you could probably get back before dark.
Let us not waste time. Get these flowers and go.
All right. So you head up the trail, and it doesn't take long, again, once you get over these hills, to see a spattering of just dozens of these different types of rock entrances. I'm going to ask one of you who is going to be leading the group who is making decisions to give me a survival roll.
I could. I was sort of leading last time for no particular reason. So
If you have survival, go for it.
Gashar will do so. Has an 18.
Perfect. So in the process of looking for trails and tracks, you don't see anything at first, and you spend about a half hour kind of looking into some of these rocky cliffs, trying to find the ones you think might potentially have the best flower without having a great understanding of what they are, just sort of like getting a gut feeling. You travel in and out of several of these shallow rock caverns. Now, these at one time were probably deep mines, but they've been abandoned for a long time, and most of them have been caved in since. Or if they are, you can tell quickly that they will descend deep into nothing, and you could spend days looking in these caverns maybe. So you're just sort of surveying every entrance. Now, of course, they said that these flowers were poisonous, so any animal that maybe ate the flowers are probably going to die. But you don't find anything immediate. Wait a minute, there is something in here. You notice as you look, then you see bones, animal bones, right inside the door, right inside the tunnel. So you have a little tunnel there, and you see some animal bones. So you're kind of looking, you're like, this looks like a good one. And then you look down, you're like, wait a minute, there's some animal bones.
I will go closer and inspect those.
All right. You travel into the cavern. You go in about 5 feet or so into the cavern, and you can see the cavern immediately opens up. Unfortunately, you can't see anything past this first 10 feet because you are blind.
Dark vision.
Yeah. So you get there and you see some spattering.
Or am I blind?
Yeah, no, you're not blind. You see a scattering of bones, and they seem to be a lot of bones, like rodent bones. You see one small, probably a baby bear, you think, something like that. But it's old, and they're just scattered around the entrance here.
Could definitely be something.
Yeah. Jules?
Can I see anything with the bones, if they look like they're gnawed upon, or if they just sort of fell over and, if are the bones pristine, or they look like they were like eaten?
No, they look like you can see pieces of flesh on them. Like, so whatever was caused their death, it was probably not like a hyena, where the hyenas would like rip and tear, or like something like that. The flesh looks just decayed on it, and most of them are very, very old and sort of almost decayed to put to the bone anyway.
I'll look back at everybody, and I'll tell everybody not to eat them.
Right, not like that.
Don't eat these.
Yeah.
When he looks back, Colin will kind of meet his eyes, and I'll go into the corridor as well, into the passageway.
All right.
I kind of through just, kind of growing up that he's been trained in investigation.
Sure.
So I'm going to basically look if there's anything near the bones, or that perhaps would indicate that they might have eaten these somewhat poisonous.
What I want you to do is give me a nature roll.
I'll light up a torch while he's starting to take a look.
All right.
So I'll give us some light.
What did you get for nature?
14.
Okay, you got a 14. All right. So
Good.
you investigate. You have not been out in the field very often, but as a cartographer and a scholar, you've read a lot of books. And this something hits you about this that sort of says, you think that this looks very familiar. You think that these animals were probably captured and eaten, but eaten from the inside out. You think something might have just, because their flesh has all been drawn in. They're very pulled in and what's left of them. And you're like whatever this is, it could possibly be like a spider or like some type of a centipede creature or something like that.
But there's definitely I think if there's a toxin, it's probably been injected into them, not like where they've consumed it.
Right. You these animals look like once you kind of look into it, they look gaunt. What's there has been gaunt and dried. They look like they've not been probably like taken out by a hyena or something, but probably taken out by something that captured them and consumed them probably from the inside out. Maybe even things like, think of like some weird rock rub or something, possibly. Is something like that.
Could be the work of those beetles.
Could have been those beetles, right? That eat them up from the inside.
We don't have any massive cobwebs in the doorway to this cavern, though.
Not that you're looking at it, right? You light up the torch. The torch echoes out into the cavern. 1 second while.
But if it could be something like a centipede or something, it wouldn't necessarily have
Right, it wouldn't.
use webbing as a trap or something.
What about a sturge?
That tends to be a spider thing.
Sturge is a giant mosquito.
I will look for some sort of injection or
All right, you look and you don't immediately see that with that roll, but you see the cavern extends in well past your light, and the dim glow of your light from the torch, you can see that it opens up. That's what you can see. You don't see anything in the immediate doorway that you're here, like in the corridor, but you can see it goes in 25, 30 feet. It opens up into a much bigger cavern beyond. What that means, you're not exactly sure, but you see these bones is sitting out here. You're like, this looks suspicious. Okay.
So I take it there's no flowers here.
Not in the immediate opening that you're in now, but you can see the cavern goes in deeper and opens up. But this is the first time you've seen anything of any of these caverns. Up until now, you've gone in and out of them. You saw absolutely nothing. This is the first time you see something. Now,
I think we should explore just a little further.
Agreed.
I mean, obviously there's these creatures that ate them could be a threat. But
Let us go stealthily, he says rather loudly.
all right. So you're gonna grab your highlighted, bright, burning
Yes.
torch and stealth your way in.
Yes.
All right. So I'm gonna change the map
All right.
to allow you to put here, and then I'll tell you where you're gonna put your characters. All right. All right. So as you can see, you have this opening at the bottom. Why don't you put yourself on the map? If you're on the map, you are in the cavern. If you're not on the map, then I'm assuming you're outside of the cave right now. Right now, I only see Wave. All right. So I think, who am I missing? I'm missing, and I'll reveal the area that you see with your light.
I also have 60-foot dark vision.
Perfect. I will let you know what you see then. All right. You can see ahead of you that there's some kind of a cavern, and from your dark vision, Wave, you can see the images or the shadows of these flowers that are up on the ledges. And you immediately get kind of a little excited that you can see them. I'm assuming you're sort of in a little bit farther. While making a GM decision that you can see. What are you guys going to do?
Yeah, it is about the limit of my dark vision.
Yeah.
I say, there are flowers ahead.
All right. Then.
Where?
Each of these levels that you see, you can see the first inner one. It's kind of the lower level here, and then you can see the upper level. They are 20-foot rises.
Flander strolls right in.
So ledges.
All right, Flander, you walk up and you can see a 20-foot rise to on the side of you. And you can see these flowers kind of bursting up into these tall plants that are about 6 feet tall, and they kind of loom over. They seem to be growing randomly out of odd places. And you're actually surprised that you actually found them. That maybe you were kind of giving up hope. You're like, who is this weird druid that pointed you in this direction via the sister Garaele?
How high is the ceiling?
Can't just trust any random woman giving out
least
flower
40
hunting
feet.
quests.
Yeah, it's 60 feet to the ceiling.
Strange women handing out flower quests.
Yeah, 60 feet past.
Flower quests.
60 feet past here. Here it's kind of like 20 feet up right through here, but it's 60 feet the rest of the way. Okay, so what are you guys going to do?
Gishard does move up as well, so there's a little bit more light in the entryway there.
Perfect.
This cavern is quite tall.
It is.
So these plants, you say they are how big?
They're about 6 feet tall, and they kind of burst out of the ground, and then the flowers hang over the top. The flowers don't look all that particularly big, maybe about 3 to 6 inches long.
Okay.
Don't eat them.
I'm going to try and aim at the base of the plant on this one here with my Eldritch Blast
Perfect.
and blast it from the wall.
It's actually on the top of the surface, but it's this is a flat
40
surface.
feet tall then.
This is 40 feet up,
It's like a
and this whole
plateau.
area is flat. So it's growing out of the top of the ground. So it's not like hanging over the cliff. It's stalking straight up.
But can I see I see its flowers, or do I see the base of the
You can see a little bit of the base. You can certainly give it a shot. So you think that to hit the base at that range, you're going to look at a 14.
We can try this.
All right, go for it.
We have two other plants if I destroy them.
Perfect.
My Eldritch Blast is not fire, it's force.
Yeah.
Just to
No,
clarify.
that's totally fine. Yeah, no, fine.
Way to burn them up.
Picturing
What happened
Daffy
to my
Duck right
screen?
now. Just
Wouldn't that be
beak is
great?
on sideways.
That is not the goal.
A little smoke wafting.
Yeah. What'd you get?
You got the wrong screen is what I got. There we go.
Oh, sweet.
19.
All right. You hit it. How much damage do you do to it?
10.
10? All right. You hit the flowers. The flowers evaporate and eviscerate in a shower of glittering plant parts.
I tried to
force
hit the
hits.
base.
You did. You hit
He
the
was trying to
base.
hit the base.
Just
at
unfortunately, you hit the base and the entire flower blew up. This is what happened. And so you hit the plant. You did exactly what you meant to do. Unfortunately, it destroyed the plant.
Waif has like more damaging than usual Eldritch Blasts, right? Is it possible she just doesn't know how horrendously damaging those beams are?
It's quite possible.
All right.
Perhaps we should slice one. He looks at his horse. This won't do.
Yeah.
I'll try to climb up to here.
And
But
Waif, I'm going to ask you to give me a perception roll.
Wait, did the sister say she needed whole intact flowers, or chunks of it in the sap too?
I guess that would be, you didn't ask that question.
No, we did not.
Well, we can pick them up.
Does anybody know any wind
Just in
magic
case.
that might help
I have
get the
mage
bits left?
Okay.
What was the roll?
Think of much in the way.
What
of
are you
that
trying to
kind of
do?
thing.
What'd you get for perception?
12.
12. Okay. Nothing. All right.
I'm going to climb up onto this ledge here.
All right. Give me an athletics check, please.
All right. Athletics coming right up. 5.
All right. You see Gashar grapple and climb up like 10 feet or so, and he just sort of tries to move, and kind of gets stuck. You're unable to get any purchase to get up. This is must be a bad spot to climb up.
Here, let me try.
Don't try here.
All right. You're going to try?
Oh, sorry. It's
I was going to say,
Well,
like,
it's
I
supposed
could
to
have
be an
done
advantage.
acrobatics better.
Graham parkours up.
but either an 18 or a 19 to
Yeah, you're able to jump up there just fine. All right, Graham. Now that you're going to move yourself, if you'd like to move yourself onto that ledge,
Mm-hmm.
is that where you're going to go up that far?
Yep.
Perfect. All right, you jump up there onto that ledge. I'm going to I'm actually going to say you can easily do this. So what's going to happen? Let's see where you're at. I'm going to slide this down a little bit in the map. And then I will reveal more of the area. All right, Graham.
Chemo's dying. He has a lot of time to think about his life before he dies.
That's great. Graham, you see wrapped up in a web is some creature that is kind of shifting around. You see next to it several other web spun groups of creatures, and none of those other ones. You see 3 other ones that are next to it. You just see one that's wrapped up and it's sort of wiggling around there. And you can see part of its face is sticking out. It looks like something tiny, like a sprite maybe, or something similar. It's something, some kind of a fey creature. You're not 100% sure.
Maybe a pixie.
But yeah, so you see it sitting up there, and its face is like looking out. It has a small little female face, and but its mouth it's going.
Help me! Help me! Okay, I will very cautiously step up.
All right, why don't you give me a perception roll?
Perception roll.
You just passed the flower. Can't you see? Oh, are you blind?
Perception.
He's gone rogue.
Uh-oh.
Steps into the center of the
An 8.
You have an 8. Okay,
Perfect.
all right.
What are you doing?
The little pixie creature all wrapped up. It's tiny. It's just wrapped up in this thing, and it's mumbling. It's like,
Flander, get the flower. What are you doing?
all right. She seems to be pleading with you.
There's something here, I say.
You hear him. It's difficult to see at 20 feet up as he's moving back. So as soon as he moves past the 10-foot mark, he's almost becomes invisible to most other people, especially you, Gashar, because you're so close to the edge. You're living on the edge. You can't help yourself from falling. All right.
Okay,
What do
I'm
you
going
got? What are you going to do, Flander?
I'm going to move up next to it very cautiously.
All right.
And I'm going to just say, hold still. And I'm going to pull out my dagger
All right.
and try to cut it free.
All right. You do that. You start pulling away from its face. And as you pull it away, she's like, look behind you.
So we all hear this, I presume?
Yes.
Okay. Oh dear.
Oh my.
As from all of the shadows, a gathering of spiders, 5 or 6 little spiders come flying out of the shadows. They don't seem to be very, very big. But they seem to be about what you normally be like my hand size. They kind of come flying out.
That's pretty big.
That's fucking huge.
Yeah. They don't seem to be like, remember how you had to fought the giant rodents, the giant rats were like
Rodents
3
of
feet.
unusual sizes.
Yeah. They don't seem to be that big, but they definitely feel like they're big enough that that their bites are more than just gonna be like a little prick.
Just going to leave a note. Take burning hands for all the bugs.
All right. And let's roll initiative.
Oh, actually, maybe.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Gashar, what'd you get?
21.
Nice. And Waif, what'd you get?
18.
Nice. Graham, what'd you get? What does Flander get?
That's 18.
Oh, figure out who goes first. Colin, what'd you get?
8.
What's
All
your
right.
DC or what's your dex?
And
Yeah.
you're not here yet. All right. And then I get to find out what
My dex is 16.
Okay, you go first.
All right. So first of all, Gashar gets to go as you suddenly hear Flander yell out.
Ah!
Spiders!
Something along those lines. Excellent. Well, he'll take a running. He'll take a run up towards that. Basically right towards him. So 10. You said 20 feet up.
It's 20 feet up. Yep.
20 feet up. All right. Well, he's going to have to do more than a single move. Then he'll do a, what do you call that? A dash.
Yeah, you can do a dash action to take on that additional move.
All
Yeah.
right. And then I'll try to do an acrobatics to get myself up a little bit faster because he's very acrobatic. If that works for you.
Sure. I will say that if you can defeat the DC by 5 or more, then you'll be able to move. You'll be able to move an extra 5 feet. Go ahead.
Well, to do the extra 5 feet.
Yeah. Well, climbing up, you have to move. You take half the.
Oh, sure.
It's considered difficult terrain. So it costs 40 feet of movement to climb up this cliff.
Got it. But he does have a 40 speed, so this would be within my movement.
Yep.
Right here.
Yep.
Okay.
And you're
Cool.
fast dragonborn.
C.
He's a monk.
Yeah. No,
They go
there we
crazy
go.
fast.
Acrobatics. Can I do it? No, I don't think I do. You said it was 10, right?
No, I didn't say the DC, but it's
For the wall?
No, I didn't. Never told you what
Oh,
it
what
was.
was the DC for the wall?
Yeah, but it's more difficult than the incline that you had at the other one. So the difficulty to climb these walls is 13. So you run up to it, and they're pretty rough, but they're not like the previous when you guys were in the Craigmore outpost where they were pretty much half slanted. You know, they were 10 to get up. They had like a little grade to them. These have no grade. They're just very rough. You kind of climb up, but your claws, you think your claws should be able to fit there, but you're so big, maybe almost too big to climb this. All right, you end up getting yourself at the bottom. That was Gashar. That brings us to Flander or Waif?
Flanders first.
Flander first.
Flander.
What are you going to do, Flander? You're surrounded by this creature is partially been cut out. She called out, look behind you. You look behind you and you see all these spiders.
Okay, and I'm going to stab this one with my dagger.
Perfect. Let's get it done.
Okay. 19. For 5 points of piercing damage.
Nice. All right, that will destroy that spider. All right, that brings us from Flander. You also have a movement or something if you want. You can try to free that pixie if you want.
I'm going to try and free the pixie.
All right, what I need you to do is you can give me either an athletics check or an acrobatics check to free this creature.
Okay. I'll go for an acrobatics.
All right, you're basically trying to grab her to pull her out.
Yep.
Flip her through that. So give me a roll.
22.
What'd you get?
22.
All right, you pull her out and you kind of pull her a step back and you see her. Are you going to keep her in your hands or are you going to let her go?
I will keep her in my hand, but not tightly.
All right, you're sort of holding on to her. You basically have her quote unquote grappled for now, even though you're not really doing it with malice. All right, Flander, you have pulled that.
Just more to
pixie
protect
out.
her from the spiders if they come at her. So.
Right. Waif, it is your turn.
I can see this one, correct?
Yes, you can see any of the ones that are touching the edge.
All right. So I hit that one with an Eldritch Blast for 12 points of damage.
All right. You hit that one.
Well, I assume a 22 hits.
22 does hit. All right. How much damage did you do?
12 points.
12 points. All right. Kill it. Hit the thing. You got the flowers destroyed. You see this thing. All you see is like against the back wall. It launches in the back wall and just because you launch it 10 feet, it obliterates. It's like taking clay and splattering against the wall. Just
Dragonfly hitting the windshield.
exactly right. All right. That was way. All right. It's the spider's turns. All right. These spiders are going to move forward. All right. So the 4 of those run forward at you, Flander, and they are going to attack. All right. I get a +4 to hit. So I hit 19, 20,
That'll hit.
and 17.
And yeah, they all hit.
All right. And then also one that didn't do very well. All right. And so they are going to do, they do, you can make me 3 Constitution saves, please.
Okay. 11, 17, 11.
All right. The total damage you take from this experience with those 3 creatures is going to be 8. These creatures all begin to snip at you, and 3 of them hit you. You don't think any of the poisons probably hurt you, but you definitely have taken some nippy damage from these creatures.
Okay.
Oh, I get 5 hit points.
Oh, you get to restore 5 hit points. Perfect. All right, Colin, at the last moment, give me a spot roll. What'd you get?
21.
Nice. All right. At the very last moment, you look up and you see from the shadows above you, these legs come flying down, and it's got a web at its tail. It's basically rappelling down its own tail. But this spider is much larger than the other spiders. This spider, so this creature comes down, and this spider is gigantic. It's massive. It comes down. This thing is twice your size. It comes flying down, and it's going to attack you.
It's an acromantula.
I will put it on the board here.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
That's the one from Lord of the Rings.
Shelob.
Yeah.
I don't think we're in Neverwinter anymore, Frodo.
All right. But so it comes down from the shadows, but it doesn't surprise you or anything. You actually look up as it comes in the view, but it does come down, and it is going to attack you.
Okay.
It's going to try to do a bite attack on you this first round.
Okay.
And I hit an armor class 21.
That'll definitely get me.
And you're going to take 7 points of damage. Now, please give me a Constitution save.
Okay.
Oh no.
That's not...
What happens? What'd you get?
4.
You have a 4?
Yeah, I do have a bonus to my con, but that's still not going to be enough.
Do you have any inspiration
Nope.
from previous sessions?
Nope.
No, not yet.
Darn.
Okay. So you're going to take another 7 points of damage from being poisoned. And you
I
are
took
now.
what before?
What's that?
I had 7 plus 7. Okay.
Yeah.
So I got 14. Okay.
Yeah. So this kind of poison burns your blood a little bit. You're like, and the thing is like, it's like looming over the top of you, kind of blocking the way. And it looks like it's not gonna stop there. All right. That brings us to Colin. You turn around, you see this thing just nab you, just bite you. And now you're flipping out because this poison is coursing through your veins. You're not actually poisoned in the poison condition, but you know what I mean. What are you going to do?
All right. The first thing Colin's going to do is I'm going to take basically a 10-foot step towards away from this creature.
And
then I'm going to cast Sleep.
So as you do that, the creature is going to make an attack of opportunity on you.
Okay.
Creature's going to hit armor class. I think they hit the same amount again. You looking at my die? You're not actually playing. That's fine. All right. And then he's going to do, so he hits a +5. That's going to be 21.
Yeah, that'll get me.
Ooh.
And he's going to hit you for max damage, 11 points of damage.
Okay.
And then you give me a Constitution of 11, please. Constitution save.
5. I might actually be completely.
I should have a screen here or something, but I really don't care.
that.
I never really changed my dice or anything, so I don't really care that you see it.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that you're down because that's
Yeah.
25
He's
points,
definitely
I think.
down, but he's at 25 of 16 points currently.
So 25 of 25.
25 down, so I'm at negative.
So you had
7.
0 is what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you didn't
in
take-
5e you just hit 0 unless it would
Okay.
like double your health instantly, you die. But other than that, it's just 0 and
Okay.
you start doing saves.
Okay.
Is it your hit points negative, or is it your
Yeah, hit
constitution
points.
negative?
I think it's hit points negative.
Yeah,
I
hit
remember
points
right,
negative. I'm
yeah.
pretty sure it's your hit points.
That's for the instant death because they tried to make it a little less
Yeah,
harsh.
yeah. Who wants to be 17th level? The old saber dive stuff was horrible.
Yeah.
Or because
I
you
suppose
would.
constitution doesn't go nearly fast enough.
Right. The problem is that you have these monsters that can do like 17, 18 points of damage easily to you.
Yeah, and you're down to 2,
And,
and
yeah,
then you just
and you have 2 hit points, and then boom, if you only have a 15 con, you're dead. That was never fun.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Colin drops.
Yep.
All right. And I'm going to move your character because you actually didn't get very far. You try to move away, and it literally took an attack of opportunity, and you dropped right there. Waif, you see this for sure. Everybody else who's away from there, if you're outside of their vision, you probably can't see it. You probably hear it though.
it would be in the dim light from my torch.
Yeah. So you can probably see it. All right. That brings us that was Colin. That brings us to Gashar. Gashar, you're climbing that up, and you hear this. You hear the Colin make almost some kind of a noise, like and then turns around and you see the spider, and it's looming over the top of him, and you see the dropped Colin body. What are you going to
This
do?
is a bigger threat. Oof. Plus, I can't get up the ledge anyway, so yeah, I'm going to run back in front of Waif and be a sort of a wall for the spider.
You can get to him and attack.
That is true.
For now, I'm going to take Colin and just move him right here. He is in his spot, but just to make it easier to move people around.
That works. Jeez. You suggest I run right up to the spider. Thanks, Waif.
I'm just saying you can.
Punch and
You
kick.
do have bronze scales for skin of all of the.
You know what? Can I get
Actually,
a token
yeah.
for the torch? Because I want to throw the torch on the floor as I run over there, and it would still be lit, right?
For sure.
Doing it?
So I believe we can just draw a shape on the ground.
I was just gonna make a mini token, so I
All
can
right.
make them glow.
So you have it's light within that range. You drop it right there. All right. What are you going to do?
Perfect. Well, actually, can you move that so that it's centered on Waif? I basically drop it right as I'm running by, around there.
Oh, onto Wave.
Yeah, basically here. And I will actually run up right to the giant spider, and I will do an attack with the quarterstaff and
Get them.
hopefully do
Get
some
her.
damage. 23 to hit
That will do damage to
Nice.
that spider.
and 6 points of bludgeoning. And then I will spend a key point to do, I believe it is the patient defense. Let me double check. Yes, patient defense will give me the dodge action.
Nice.
And I believe that would apply for even a big old spider.
I'm pretty sure it will. All right.
So goes up, smacks it, gets in a defensive position and readies for a counter strike, I'm sure.
Nice. All right.
Waif, I'm depending on you.
That was Gashar. That brings us to Flander. Flander, you are surrounded by these spiders.
Okay. I'm going to hit this one with my dagger.
All right.
Oh,
This one
wait,
down here
wait,
with your dagger.
Hit this one with my dagger, yes.
All right. Dagger him up.
Stop doing that. Okay. Okay, so
You want to point the way. You want to show her. You don't know.
dagger. Wacko. Ooh.
Nice.
There you
All
go.
right. What'd you hit?
Nat 20.
Okay.
Natural 20. All right.
20. Yep.
You obliterate that spider.
Okay, and then I'm going to move. Whatever that was. Move myself up to here.
All right. So if you do that, this one is fine and this one is fine, but you're actually leaving this one's threatened space. So that
Mhm.
one's going to get an attack opportunity on you, just so you know.
Okay.
But these two, because you're still within melee range of them, you're
Yep.
fine. Is that okay?
Yep, that's fine.
Okay. He misses you.
Okay, I'm taking the pixie with me too.
Yeah,
I
I
think
know. The thing's going to wiggle in your hand.
and I think I'm going to release the pixie,
All right.
and she can fly around. Right?
Yeah, she immediately, her little wings go, and, and the moment she gets about 3 inches off your hand, you see little sparkles behind it. It goes, and she just disappears.
Okay, and as a bonus action, I'm going to. Can I see Colin from where I am here?
No, you're too close to the edge and too far away. No, you're only 20 feet, not 40. So yes, you can see him.
Okay, then I will call Healing Word on him.
You can reach that range.
Yeah, it's just in range.
Like what, 45?
And he's healed up for 4 points.
Perfect. All right, Colin, you're restored to, and I'll kind of put you in that square if that works.
Totally fine.
And you are no longer.
That works. I would say he could be behind by 1 square, just because if he started to move, he could fall that way.
No, let's put him there.
All
right. So Flander does that. That brings us to Waif. Waif, what are you going to do?
I blow it a kiss and cast the hex on her.
All right, so you're casting your hex spell.
Which is a bonus action. And then I will Eldritch Blast.
All right.
Ooh.
20. So that's 9 plus.
Wait,
Yeah, that will hit. Yeah.
So 12, 16 points of damage. And she's blasted back 10 feet.
All right. I'll move her back 10 feet, and then I'll have to adjust the map for everyone to be able to see what's going on. So we'll have 2 things going on.
That is a big bug.
All right. You do that. This creature's been blasted back. You said you did 16, you said, right?
Mhm.
Perfect. All right. That goes from Waif now down to the creature. All right. Let's see what happens. The creature is going
Colin's
to.
still prone, right?
Yes.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
The creature is going to. It kind of spins around and lifts its rear end up and just goes, fires a globule right at you. Globule of something moist.
I want to try to dodge this and hopefully use my dodge
Yeah.
to help me dodge.
So he has disadvantage to hit you, correct?
Yes.
Oh, my lowest is a 13, and I got to see what my bonus is to hit you.
Well, you got me with the 13 anyway, so if you have any bonus, it's just icing on the cake,
Yeah.
like glob cake.
You are now restrained. You are wrapped in a globule of web.
Oh dear.
I've
Terrible.
been slimed.
I'm in a sticky situation here.
I feel so funky.
Oh man. What element is your breath weapon again?
Lightning.
Maybe it wouldn't help you against a bunch of webs.
All right. In the meantime, we're going to scroll
Maybe not.
back up.
Does spider silk conduct electricity?
Graham, you are being, Flander is going to be attacked. First of all, I'll take the pixie.
Well, there's a
and
big
I'll
surprise.
Pull the pixie off the map because the pixie has disappeared right now. This creature is moving to here. All right. You see another spider come running out of the shadows. It moves to there. All right, you're being attacked now, Graham, by 4 of these spiders. Those are probably going to miss, but the 17 has a good chance of hitting you. Does the 17
The
hit?
17 will hit, yes.
All right, and I have one more attack. Oh, and I rolled a 19 plus, so 2 of them are going to hit you. These are regular spiders, but the first one is going to do. You're going to take 2 points of regular damage just from them biting you, and you have to give me 2 Constitution saves, please.
Okay. $12 and 5.
All right, that 5 unfortunately was kind of low, and you're going to get poisoned for 1 more point of damage.
Okay.
What's the condition that I'm under with this glob stuff on me? Is it grappled?
Let me see what this says.
or incapacitated?
I believe that would be restrained.
You are restrained.
Okay, thank you.
Everyone else is gone. Colin, it is your turn.
Okay. Colin is going to cast his cantrip, which is Chill Touch, against the spider.
All right, go for it.
$13.
All right, you hit armor class 13. That would be a miss.
Okay.
All right. Are you going to stand up or anything? You are prowling on the ground right now.
Yeah, I think no, I will unsheath my dagger, and I'm actually going to stand next to Gashar. I don't want him to get just eaten since he's tied up.
All right. So you stand up, you're standing next to him and as he's all like wrapped
Yeah,
up.
I'm kind of crouched down. I
Nice.
actually think that if I get a free time, I want to try to start cutting him away.
Perfect. It is now Gashar's turn. Gashar, what are you going to do?
Oh, well, figuring out that I'm basically stuck in this webby stuff, I think his instinct initially would be just to try to get out of it. So how do I escape from this?
What do you want to do?
I'm assuming I move a little bit, so he's gonna try to sneak his way out of it, slip out. He's
All right, you're going to give me a strength check.
straight strength check.
Yeah, you try to wiggle out. This thing is just glued onto you.
Glued on.
You try to like slip, but it's so glued onto you. You're like, I'm gonna have to really just you're gonna have to just be like burst out,
All right,
Hulk style.
strength check it is.
And yet when you
Ooh.
come back to normal, your pants
Yeah.
will just be right there. What'd
Well,
you
that's a
roll?
natural 1.
All right, you see, he's like oil can. Oh, he's all wrapped up. He can't move. And Colin, you can see he's trying to struggle, but he's partially pinned to the wall.
Sure, I
He
get
just
it.
can't move.
And that's an action, right?
That is your action, yes.
Try to break out of it.
Yes, and you have in your speed has been reduced to 0, so
Correct, I
you're
can't
not
really
able to
move anywhere either.
All right, that brings us from Gashar to Flander. Flander, what are you going to do? You still have to deal with all these spiders.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to stab at this one.
Step at thee. All right.
11.
11. Let me check. I don't know what the armor classes are offhand. Oh, no, you missed.
Mm,
Shoot. All right.
okay.
That brings us to Waif.
Eldritch Blast again on the
Go for it. What'd you hit?
big one. 13.
That will miss. Not that it doesn't help that there's a bunch of people in between you and the spider too. Even though it's large, it's still considered undercover. All right.
Although I'm not moving, so that helps.
Okay, that brings
And Colin's crouching.
all right, and that brings us to Flander Wave. Oh, the creature, the spider needs to go. All right. Spider moves to there, moves up to here, and is going to attack Colin. All right. Oh, I hit you. I rolled a 16 plus 5 is going to definitely hit you. You're going to take some damage from this giant spider, which I think it may possibly drop you back down to 0. Yes, he does another 8 points of damage to you. You're pierced. It comes up and just goes. It goes up and it sees you still up, and it just goes. Just bites into you. You're like, you see Colin's turn, arch back and drop. The creature's bite is so strong that
Sure.
as you fall, it actually kind of hangs onto you a second and then lets you fall.
Ooh.
Let you drop.
Ow.
You see his body, his just body is dropped. What I want you to do is I want you to also give me a Constitution save regardless.
Ooh.
The 3.
Yeah.
Natural 1.
All right. I'm going to flag your character. You've been flagged. We're like the NSA.
You're on a list now.
You're on a list now. All right, Colin, you've been flagged. The spiders get to go now. And I'll I'll make sure the map is still good so everyone can be seen. That one down at the bottom is barely able to be seen, but I think people get the gist of what's going on with them. All right. Did I already attacked you, Colin, right?
Yep.
Okay. And did wait, Flander, did I attack you yet this round?
Yes, you did.
Okay, thank you. Then I'm done. Colin, is your turn. Make your first
My first
save.
death save?
Yeah, your first death save.
Okay. A 9.
All right. You are
fail.
down 1. All right, that brings us to Gashar. You're still wrapped up. You're all wrapped. You're like, it's like Christmas to the spider.
You can attack
Definitely.
with disadvantage.
It's true. It's true. I also can I can do a cantrip of an illusion. I don't know how that. I don't think that would like. How do you do?
What's the
just a somatic?
is it just is an illusion just a somatic one? You can do that if you want. Remember, this is a creature.
Yep, and it has eyes though, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's not probably very intelligent if at all almost. So
Yeah. I haven't thought of a good illusion, so he's going to try to squeeze out of this thing one more time.
all right. Yeah.
Frantically in front of this guy. You kidding
Seriously?
What'd you roll?
Oh my God, another natural 1.
Oh,
Another
like it's
natural
been
one.
31.
I'm just going to unroll that.
We've
for
just
a
had a
second.
lot of these
Reroll it.
tonight.
Yeah,
Oh,
right in a
See,
row.
this is the
Boom, boom, boom.
TPK night.
Yeah.
These spiders and the dice are going
Nice.
to wipe us out.
All right. So as Gashar struggles to free himself, Flander, you are surrounded by these unfortunate creatures. Flanders, what are you going to do?
I am going to cast Thunderwave.
That is a fantastic spell. Now, Thunderwave is a cube, right? It's a 15-foot
Yes.
cube. So what happens in Thunderwave is
man.
you need to pick a direction, and it will emit in that direction. So you're kind of at the beginning. So for instance, it could be, you can say have it go 3 squares this way, 3 squares this way, or 3 squares this way. I think for you, the best bet is to go 3 squares this way.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And so if you want me to draw this out,
Mm-hmm.
So 15-foot cubes on yourself, right?
yeah, but it's like that. So it's like you're at the beginning and and you project out. So so you'll be able to get these 3 if you want to thunder wave that way.
Yeah, I'll
That's what we do?
Thunderwave that way.
Perfect. Go for it.
Okay.
flowers.
And see.
Oh,
wave
God.
Thunder sweeps out.
No metagaming.
Each creature in a 15-foot cube must make a Constitution saving throw.
All right.
And on a failed save, the creature takes 2d8 thunder damage and is pushed 10 feet away from you.
Nice.
Successful
And
save. Creature takes half damage.
they take half damage if they fail.
What is my save?
Your save is
13, right?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. So what happens is
Does the flower get a save?
it will. Elite. Elite.
Just splattered some spiders though.
And that one gets the lead because it takes half damage, but it only has 1 hit point left. And let's do the save for the flower. Ooh, what do I need?
13.
13?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think flowers have dexterity.
There are more caves now.
There's more caves, there's more tunnel. There's some maybe up to the right.
Yeah, there's more tunnel.
There's one more flower.
Yeah,
And there's one more flower.
it's hilarious. It is just, this is this group.
Yeah.
Destroy
we
everything.
might make it.
Like, oh my God,
There's more caves around, right? You can find more flowers.
Well, there's still more stuff this way.
Okay. All right then.
Deeper with more spiders.
All right. That is nice. That
Well,
is
there might be one right here. You never know.
I miss
wave.
Oh.
You miss? Oh, what did you hit?
7.
You roll this. You hit armor class 7. Oh, that's not enough. That's not good. All right, that is now their turn.
But I will move up forward though.
Where are you going to move to?
Like to draw a circle.
To draw a circle?
So
That's
I
very
move
nice
up
of
to
you.
here.
Okay, that was wave. All right. this creature sees you run up, and it's like, whoa, this is basically a nice bar of food for me. So it's going to move up 5 feet, move over the top of you, and just snap down on top of you. And he's like, all right, they just keep coming. Thank you very much.
How does it take the same place as Gashar?
Are they like prone?
What's that? Well, he's captured and he's down.
He still threatens.
All right, I'll tell you what. I'll give you I'll do that then.
I mean,
what's that?
He still can act.
Oh, that's right. He does because
You just can't move, right?
yeah.
Mhm.
So
Disadvantage.
he'll move to here. He climbs on the wall.
Okay.
And that's totally fine. I don't mind being challenged. That's cool. And it's going to attack you. Oh, I don't think I hit though. He's going to hit armor class. I believe he has a +5. He does. I rolled in 7. No, he hits armor class 12.
I think that will not do.
What is your armor class?
13.
Right. Awesome. So you missed it. It missed you. All right. Meanwhile, Graham, that one lone spider up there is going to miss you. All right. It is now Gashar's turn. You are restrained.
Gashar will. So it's kind of up on the wall.
Yeah, it's climbing up the wall. It has spider climb, so it can just.
That's good because then it's not in.
How does it have spider climb?
Yeah, it's actually a wizard. It can't spider climb myself, then polymorphed into a spider.
Nice. Gashar will turn and face up with it and unleash his breath weapon.
Perfect. All right. What's my save?
I feel like I should know what this is. There you go. DC 12.
I completely miss. I failed.
Perfect.
Nice.
7 points of lightning damage.
That's awesome.
Spider meat bug zapper.
Oh my God.
It literally is crawling and you lightning it and it just falls off right on top of Colin.
Oh,
It's kind of a splash sound.
Colin's like, come on. Just lands right on top of him. It's a giant, big.
Is Colin unconscious again?
Yes, yeah.
Well, no, it'll keep you warm. Wait, maybe not.
It's like the
pretty tight,
it's like the
yes.
tauntaun of the south.
Yeah.
ugh.
I mean, maybe the
Oh, nice work.
lightning might have toasted it slightly.
It could be a little warm. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Twitching.
We're still in initiative though, yeah.
Yeah.
There's still a
We're
bug.
still there's one bug left. So that was
And Colin's died.
Gashar. That brings us to Flander. You got the lone spider left.
Hey,
Do you have a fireball or
think
something that can do like an area effect around you and everything else up here?
I can do vicious mockery.
Can you? Well, what's the save for the flower? I'm teasing. What are you gonna do?
I think I'll just take a stab at it.
Tell me what you're gonna hit.
Oh, nice.
It's
Yeah.
20.
A
Not natural, but
20?
a 20.
30-20.
All right, you hit it, and it has 1 hit point left, and you destroy it. All right,
6 times.
all right. We are now gonna be dropped outside of combat.
I'm getting out of this web
Yeah, you're able to
eventually.
wiggle out of the. Graham, what are you gonna do?
I will cast Spare the Dying on.
Okay. I will see if
Okay.
I can cut some flowers off of this thing here.
All right, so that will automatically stabilize him, right?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. All right, and you're gonna. So what I need you to do is I need you to make a nature roll to do this right.
And don't eat
Nature
it.
roll. Nature roll. Okay, not my
Back in the healer's house. I wonder if
What'd you roll?
them.
18.
All right,
18.
you cut them, and the flower machine is still be intact, and you didn't touch them by accident because they are very poisonous.
Do you have the sack?
All right,
I
you
hope
have
so.
the flowers in your hand.
We have
Okay.
a sack. Someone has a
Yeah.
sack. Who has a sack?
Someone.
I do, but not the sack you're thinking of.
Hold on.
Okay.
Gashar as a non-mammal
Yeah,
might be a little confused
Okay.
with that reference.
yeah,
I have studied human anatomy.
Did I?
Mostly where to hit them.
Yeah.
yeah.
Pretty gross.
And that's That's a good spot.
All right, you're able to get the flowers and with easily enough climb back down, Flander.
Okay.
Colin is still unconscious though. What are you going to do?
I am going to do Cure Wounds on Colin.
All right, Colin. He's going to cast Cure Wounds on you.
Awesome.
We put the flowers
Okay.
into the sack. Carefully.
All right, the flowers have been placed into the sack.
At level 2. And you get 8 points back.
Oh, awesome.
All right,
So
Colin.
I'm
You
basically
wake up
halfway
and you
there.
feel awful. Your bones are stiff and you feel weak all over. You are under the condition of poison, which means that you'll have disadvantage right now on all of your activities.
All right.
All right. Is there anything else in this cave you want to do?
We did collect more.
I will walk over to here just to look at the rest of the cave.
All right. You walk up there and you look at the rest of the cave and you see nothing on the ground here or here as you walk around.
So I am looking up at
We
the
need to do
ceiling,
that.
actually.
Sure.
Looking at the
Didn't mean to
ceiling.
do that.
When you look up at the ceiling, you can see that there you can see when you really look, you can see where this creature has used different forms of webbing to cross different parts of the ceiling that maybe have been different heights. But you don't see a whole lot of webbing in there. You'd expect in a spider cave to be a lot more, but you don't think this creature just like fills this. You think this creature is more of a hunter than something that captures their prey by using webbing. So you think that they probably use their webbing to spray it, but it probably disintegrates.
I'm just looking for like
Is that the end of
wrapped
the
up
cave?
bodies to like.
Yeah, you saw that there were a few more back here. There were 3 other bodies back here. Flander saw that.
And this is the end of the cave here.
This is the end of the, and I will reveal the rest of the area. Thank you. Reveal
Boy,
area.
this was a really, really ineffective fight for Gishar. Couldn't get up on a ledge twice in a row. Got caught in a web and couldn't get on that twice in a
Freaking
row.
ones.
Yeah. Wow, good job.
You got the kill on the
Did get the
strongest enemy in the
Kill shot
field.
after Wave softened it up quite a bit.
All right.
Yeah, this is way.
Bam, 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 bam.
All right. What are you going to do now that you have this flower in your hand? Are you going to head out? Or are you going to investigate further?
I think we should get back to our friends as
Quick,
quickly
right?
as possible.
Do you want to search those bodies back there first?
We could do that.
Just real quick.
I'll try to jump up the level one more time.
All right. With enough time, you're able to actually get up.
Got a 14.
Nice.
I did it.
You climb up to the top and you open up those bodies. Those 3 bodies are simply just creatures. You think like fox. We'll say a fox, a rat, and maybe like a deer.
Honey badger.
Yeah.
Honey badger don't care.
No. So they weren't worth anything of any value, and they've been there for a while.
I wouldn't eat that either. I mean, he'll jump back down and come back to the group.
All right, what are you guys going to do? You have one of these flowers in hand. Are you heading back?
It's only been a couple of minutes. In
We
this
better
cave.
head
Let us
back, yeah.
Yeah, we'll head back.
All right.
And this is multiple flowers, right? The kind of like
Yep.
the photo has, like it's a bunch of
Yeah, it's a
flowers.
bunch of flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like
Perfect.
the flower photo has.
Perfect.
All right. When you come out, you see sitting on the branch of a half dying tree up here in the hillside where all of these caves are. There's very, very few trees. There's lots of grasses, especially around the river area, but it gets very barren here. There's just a very few number of trees. But sitting on top of one of the branches, you can see about 15 feet from where you walk out of the branch is this pixie. It's sitting here and it goes, I'm glad you survived. It looks at the group.
So are we. I'm glad you did too.
It says, you are very brave.
Brave, foolhardy, who's to say?
This is the second time I have almost been eaten.
You don't look good to me. It kind of has this kind of like, and you can barely hear it. It's like when it's speaking, it's so soft. You're kind of almost have to lean in because it's so tiny. And as it speaks, it's difficult to hear. It
So
launches.
how did you?
Go ahead.
Yeah, how did you manage to get trapped in there, little friend?
It looks at you and says, "I was looking for what you were looking for, but when I went in, I was taken by the spiders. I don't know how they saw me, but they did."
Oh,
Well, good for you.
And then it says, "I owe you a thank you, my friend." And it flies down to the earth and picks up what looks to be a giant rock to this thing. To you, it's a pebble. And this thing picks up a giant rock and it throws it in the air, and then it flies around it. And when it does, there's all these kind of sparkly trail of sparkles that glitter off it, similar pixie dust, right? So it lands on top of the rock, and then it flies underneath and catches the rock, and it holds it in its hands, and it says something to itself, kind of very muttery. It's very difficult to hear it as it kind of says some words. And then it walks up and it thrusts this rock at you, Flanders, like this with two hands.
mm-hmm.
It's like holding this giant rock.
Mm-hmm.
You should take the rock.
Okay. I will take the rock.
You pluck the rock out of his hand. You now have a rock. And as soon as you pick it up, this thing just disappears.
Pixie disappears.
Yeah.
And
All you
I have
see
a
is
rock.
like a little bit of the crystalline dust just kind of.
What does it do?
It didn't tell me what it does, if it does anything.
If you have a sling, you could shoot it at someone.
Sling a pebble at somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Like grows.
Maybe I should swallow it.
Enlarge projectile. That'd be a fun spell.
That is one. Be one. Yeah.
You could,
Okay.
You could eat it.
So, what are you guys going to do? Are you going to make haste back to the group?
Yes.
All right.
Following the river this time.
All right. By the time you get back to Phandelver, following the river closely to avoid any of these creatures, like the gnolls, or more importantly, Connor. If you while following any of these the river, you find you're not able to find any. You had no more encounters. However, it is dark. By the time you come down the hill from the Miner's Trail, you enter into a land that's pitch black with very few dots of light. You think that that Phandelver goes dark pretty early. There's only one glowing light on, and that glowing light is coming from the inn. I'll bring the map up now. All right. After you managed to get the flower, you came into town. It is now late in the evening as you wander through the Miner's Trail. Here you can see that only the Stonehill Inn here, as I bring up the right selector, only the Stonehill Inn here is actually showing lights. There's lights burning around it, and you can see all the windows are glowing warm. There may be a few low-level lights in other parts of the town, but for the most part, this town is very dark in the evening. You can make out two men, or at least you believe that they're men, one here and one here, and they're carrying torches, and you think they're wandering around the town. They may be some kind of a guard that's just wandering around, making circles around the town to make sure that the town is relatively safe, but what that means and what they're doing, you're not sure. You come into town, and I'm assuming you're going to head over to Sister Garaele's.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You knock on her door, and she opens the door, and she's happy to see you. As you open the door, she smiles and says, "You returned. Did you find it?"
Yes, we found it.
Excellent. Give it to me quickly.
And I give it to her quickly.
All
The
right.
flower, right?
The flower, yeah.
I thought he was supposed to be the one with social cue issues.
Flower or deflower, yes.
The other way is slowly.
All right. That you give her the flowers, and she snatches that out of your hand, and she disappears into the kitchen area where she begins boiling water over the stove, and she takes time to begin brewing a potion. She spends the next hour working diligently, not even stopping to speak, to say a word or anything to you, as she quickly mixing a concoction. When she does, she takes half of it and pours it into 2 little vials, and she walks over and she pours it into the mouths of both Finis and Hemo.
Sister, you said do not eat that.
She shushes you, and
He looks around everybody like in a worried way.
So about the time she finishes,
Yeah.
she's coming out, Waif comes back into the temple.
Where are you going to go to?
She ducked out,
She's actually in her house. She went into the kitchen area.
but Waif ducked out.
Okay.
And
Where are you going to duck out to?
where the whispers told her to go.
Okay. All right. As you duck out, none of you you're so busy doing this stuff. None of you see it. However, I'm going to have, since you're not there, I'm going to have the 3 people who are awake in the room give me a perception roll.
Is Sildar still in the room as well?
No, Sildar is in the back porch. You think the last you left him.
11.
18.
Isn't he dead?
He's
Yes,
He's very dead.
he's like him.
All right. Who had the 18?
That'd be me.
All right. Flander, as you're sitting there waiting, you notice on the desk of Sister Garaele, there is some type of sash she has, and on there is a small pendant. That pendant is a blue field, and on the blue field is the white outline of a harp.
She's a harper.
White outline of a harp.
Yeah, it's the white outline of a harp on a blue field.
Okay.
Those are the
I'm a
same.
little intrigued by the harp.
I'm sure you are.
Mhm.
And so she obviously is busy right now, and that's something you could ask her about
Mhm.
when she's not saving your friends.
Yes.
Or whenever you want.
When she's done there, I will ask about that.
All right. She pours those liquids down and she waits anxiously. About 15 minutes later, first Hemo opens his eyes, and you find yourself staring up at a strange wooden ceiling in the dark room with only the glow of a few candles and a firelight that's off behind you. And you see that Colin and Gashar and Flander are standing around you.
What's my health situation?
You are right now at 1 hit point.
Okay.
That's great.
Did you have a dream? And were you there? And were you there? And you were there?
Hemo.
I think
Are you
Hemo would have dreamt, but not about them.
Electric sheep.
I think maybe about elves he used to know, probably. But
Strangely enough, when you lift your head, all you're wearing are breeches, pants. Your socks, everything else has completely been removed from you. And your stuff, you can look down, is in a pile next to the bed.
Hemo dives for his swords.
All right. For some reason, he launches out of the bed and dives and grabs his sword. And a woman that you've never seen before, she is an elven woman. Her hair is pulled back tight. She has a shirt on, but it's almost like a men's swordsman shirt with like a vest over it. It's something that you would probably find very few women probably wear these. And she has breeches on, pants on, and she has high boots. And she looks at you as you jump out of the bed, and she holds your hands up and she says, "No, my friend, you're fine.
Are you okay?
I'm Sister Garaele."
What happened?
You died.
Did Clark do this? Did Clark kill me? Did I lose?
No,
Tiny
don't know.
bug got you.
I don't know.
About this big.
Hemo sits down on the bed. A tiny bug, huh?
Yeah. Tiny bug took you.
Well, it wasn't that tiny.
A massive spider almost got me, but a tiny bug got you.
It's a bug called the Forgroth beetle. I burned them both.
Was it dangerous?
To you, it was. You probably got it when you were camping on the North Road.
As long as it was a really dangerous bug.
It was. And just as you say that, you see behind you on another bed, on almost like a couch laying there, that Finnis lifts his head. Finnis, you lift your head.
He sits straight up.
Undertaker style.
Yep. Looks around and lets out a big sigh.
You're not dead.
Not yet,
This is good.
I guess.
She looks. Do you have yourself a holy symbol or anything like that?
Yeah, on his shield that he carries, there's two scales. There's like a big set of scales.
Got it.
Mhm.
She looks at you, and Sister Garaele kind of smiles and laughs, and she says, she walks up to you and puts her hand on your bare shoulder. Now you are wearing nothing. You have nothing up on you. She puts her hand on your shoulder and she says, I think Kalimvor may be a little disappointed today that he didn't get you. She kind of laughs and she pats your shield, your shoulder a little bit, and she says, I think you're using the wrong shield.
It may be the case, and it seems it is not time quite yet.
She looks at you and kind of hints one more time, and she goes, "No, I think you're using the wrong shield." If that's what she says, and she walks into the kitchen area.
All right.
Trying to recruit you.
All right.
Finish. Do they teach you how to like be cool with dying as a death cleric? Were you like ready for it?
It's wise to be ready for the afterlife, I find. You never know when it comes for you.
Wild.
But he'll wake up and obviously us two are feeling quite bad, so he's going to pop 2 cure wounds on each of us
Perfect.
before we take our big long rest.
Do you have more? Because I think
Oh yeah, Colin's still.
Ooh, I might have one more.
I have
Colin's still looking pretty
I do have some potions too, but I was thinking that we'd save those for like.
Yeah, I have 3
die.
spell slots. I'll cast cure wounds on all 3 of us.
All right. You can go ahead and roll them each and let everyone know what you got.
Gashar tells you really brief story about massive spider and pixie and collecting
4 to
the
you.
flowers
4. Thanks.
and destroying a bunch of them.
You did what? The
You
first thing
Yes.
you
8
needed
hit
to
points?
find the flowers.
The lucky sister told us to collect these in the cavern, and the rock seekers weren't there. Their camp was destroyed though.
And I also get a
Oh,
4.
no. So no Gundren?
Not yet. We must find the castle.
Oh dear.
about this time,
All right.
Waif walks in.
Well, you left before, so we're not
How
done
many
with
points
you.
did I get?
Okay.
Okay. So you leave. You hear some whispers and you wander out. What happens?
So, she's just kind of listening to these voices in her head, and they're going, "Come here, come to me," and it's kind of almost in a trance, right?
All right.
She goes out, probably some alley, some.
Well,
dark-
tell me. You have a map here. Why don't you tell me where you're going to go? You are currently at Sister Garaele's place, right here. Where would you like to go?
Did I get 4 points or 8?
You got 8.
I got 4.
I also got 4.
wanders down across the town green there, right? And like deep into the woods, or like
All right. So, and you wander into those woods. What happens when you get to the woods?
it gets darker and darker, and even to her sight, she can't see.
Oh no, yeah.
I mean, dark vision is not working as well as it usually would.
And she comes across this small clearing, and there's a bunch of stones, like in
Okay.
the shape of a pentagram, some kind of magical.
In the ground.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And in the middle of there is a pile of ash, And sitting on top of that is a small, almost like tome, small book.
Okay.
And she stands before it, and it says, "Pick me up, pick me up."
Oh, okay.
So she picks up the book, and more knowledge floods into her.
Okay.
And just more knowledge and things. And she kind of smiles a little bit as this kind of energy fills her. And then she walks back.
You turn around to walk back. Give me a perception roll.
I bet you that pile of ash was the book's previous owner. Books are probably more dangerous than swords.
19.
All right. You turn around and you see right up on a tree in this dark, everything's dark and it's hard for you to see. You see a little red creature about this big with a little spindly arched tail that ends in a scorpion's hook. And it looks down at you and it has its hand in a branch and it leans in with its weirdly, oddly shaped, almost too big mouth. It smiles. It says, Waif. You recognize this little imp. This is the imp that you have seen before, the one that stuck you in the neck, the one that dropped you with one shot.
So what dropped me?
Yeah, the imp killed you.
Okay.
It looks down at you and it says, such a pretty little thing, but so sad.
She fired, her
Yeah, you
fires it.
Yeah.
Not so easy now.
I'm not so sure. Such a sad little worthless waif. That's what it says to you, and it kind of smiles to itself. If it's almost if it doesn't take you seriously.
Right. Should blast it.
Now you're going to blast with Eldritch Blast.
Mhm.
Sweet. Give me a hit roll.
$11. I missed.
All right, you burst past it, and it kind of flutters off to the side, and it kind of launches off as you fire it, kind of floating, and it lands down, and it says, "Oh, such a worthless child. Do I have to kill you twice? I wouldn't want that. You don't seem like you can handle it."
And that's no way to treat our premier damage dealer.
It crunches down and in a little it kind of cackles to itself. But you don't have to be so worthless. There's power if you want it. And it smiles and takes a little step, kind of like little feet kind of move along the branch. The branch shakes just a little bit, and it looks down at you. Its tail is flipping around, but it's still 15, 20 feet away from you. Its tail is flipping around.
What do you want?
It is not what I want. It's what you need. You need more. I can sense it. I know why you came out here. But that's just the beginning of the power the Dark One can give you. There's a task I asked you to do. You complete it for me, and I will give you this. It opens his hand, his little fingers, and it pops open a little white pearl. It holds it out. And it says, and when it does it, it gathers a little bit of fire and brimstone ash around it, glows brightly for just a moment, and fades into a stone. And it looks to you and it says, "Do you know what this is?"
No, how would I know what it is? It is a rock.
It will hold power, great power you can use. I will give this to you if you complete a task for me.
What is this task?
To the north, far to the north, in Thunder Tree, There is a dragon there. It has within it a necklace. Bring me the necklace, and I will give this to you.
You want me to steal from a dragon?
That is up to you, but the necklace is worthless to you. But this is not power in a pearl.
No, if I can find it. Where is it?
Thunder Tree.
Thunder Tree.
Thunder Tree, yes.
Is that a dragon or a place or what?
That is a town to the north. A ruined town. A town ruined by fire, but not the dragon. The dragon does not have fire. The dragon has poison. Up to my own heart. And I love this dragon myself. The gods of poison love it so. Yet, the prize within I must have. You return the necklace to me, and I will give this to you.
No, if I find it, okay.
Until we meet again, my friend, try to keep yourself calm enough not to blast everything in sight. It fades away.
But it's like the book is just
All right. You take the book back.
Mhm.
You are able to wander through town. As you come out of the woods, you see, it looks to be a mature, maybe 40 to 50-year-old man walking through the town green right here.
Mhm.
Seeing a demon effectively with horns coming out of the woods towards him.
Yep. You see in the town green here, this man walks up and he's got a lantern. And he goes, "Oh, there!
How far? Wow.
You're about 60 feet. You come walking out of the woods, and you weren't trying to be stealthy or anything. So you come walking out, and he's walking through the town green. And he sees movement. He says, "Oh, there! Who's there?"
He can't see me at 60 feet.
You don't think he can see you. You think he's probably at the
Right.
edge of his light,
All right.
and you kind of see it's just seeing shadows moving in there. It says it's kind of calling out, "Who's there?" You don't think it can see you. It probably sees the movement of the brush.
Some whispers come from behind him,
Can you reach 60 feet with that spell? Okay. It turns.
I think. Oh, 30 feet.
Okay. So you can't quite
30
get to
feet
it.
off to like my left then.
All right. It distracts him long enough. He moves the light over, and he's carrying a short sword of some sort. And he draws his short sword and wanders, and he calls back, "Hey, movement here! Movement here!" And you see another man run up behind him, and he says, "Jake, what do you see? Movement over here!" You see they kind of move toward the brush 30 feet off from you, begin looking around. "Yeah, I don't see anything." What are you going to do?
I try to hide, but not very well.
What's your stealth?
5.
Total 5?
Yeah.
All right.
But I can keep outside of their
Yeah.
vision.
All right. As they search around, you're kind of holding yourself fast, and suddenly a little light flares across the side of your face, and one of the men jerks back, says, "Jake, what is this?" And the other one says, "What do you see?" And the first one says, I don't know. It's a tiefling." That's what it says.
What is it is a good question.
Yeah, he seems very
For Wave.
disgusted. And the other one comes running up next to it. They seem to have their light on you in between all the different leaves and stuff in the brush. They're kind of making part of your, "Come on out of there right now."
You walk out.
All right. As you walk out, they kind of back up as you
Mhm.
walk out in front of them. They keep about 10 feet away from you. They're looking at it. They look at you and they say, "Oh, it looks like a child." "No, it's not a child, just a small one. I've seen one of these before. What are you doing here?"
I'm out for a walk. What are you doing here?
"In the woods at night? Listen here, demon child. This is Phandelver. We don't need your kind here." That's what he says.
So you're saying I'm not welcome?
Is there a reason? You have business here?
Yes, my comrades are in the house of Timora.
They look back and they say, all right, come on. You're supposed to be at Sister Garaele's. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Let's find out. They have their swords in their hand. They're kind of puffing up their chest, acting real tough. You don't know how strong they really are. They could be just commoners, or they could be, but the way they hold their weapons, you think they're probably not very learned sword fighters, but they probably have had a few skirmishes in town. You think they probably broken up a few drunk brawls here and there.
So whispers are angry. Yeah,
All right. They start whispering
like,
around. They look around and they kind of point the weapons at you and walk you back to Sister Garaele's.
Do I frighten you?
That you're going to ask them?
Yeah, it's like my hands are out. Are you frightened of a little child?
Just keep walking. And the other one says, I don't look her in the eyes.
Yes, don't look at me. Yes.
Don't look at me.
What's with this sassy lost child?
Don't look her in the eyes. That's what they say. Don't. She'll steal your soul. She's a witch. Right,
Not too far off.
right. They walk you down in front of Sister Grail. Right. They wander off into the dark. All right. You guys you can walk back into the house. Sister Garaele says, Did they bother you? I'm sorry.
No, not too much.
All right. So you say that to her and she says, well, I'm glad they mean well, but they're not used to strangers around here. So
That was diplomatic.
what's that?
That was diplomatic.
She says, well, come on. And I'm going to put some food on for you. Just something small to eat, but you're probably going to want to head over to the inn before it gets too late. I'm sure there's rooms unless some other group would come in, but they get anxious about letting people in if it gets too late. And with that, she gives you a few pieces of fruit and vegetables that she has in a little tiny bowls. She hands it to you to eat, but it's not much. You don't think she has a whole lot here. So she hands that to you. She gives the two of you food as well.
That is not necessary here. Gashar will pull out some food of his own. Actually, he does, and he grabs a bottle and he's like, do you like wine?
She says, not right now. Thank you. I'm very exhausted. I must head to bed. Thank you.
Hemo has already eaten everything in his bowl.
Yeah. She says, but if you have time, and I'm glad your friends are better. If you have time, come see me so soon. I may have a task for you, but now I'm exhausted.
You have done a lot.
And she stops and she looks down into the kitchen and she says, and also maybe a gift. Please come back some other time and I'll see if I can see you then. But at this point, I must quickly go to bed.
Wait, I haven't been able to properly thank you for getting whatever that was out of my chest. I assume there's like a
there's like a mark where it looks like something had been literally cut from your chest, and you see it's been mostly healed up though, but you can see a little bit of a scar here.
Ow. Do you? I'm kind of indebted to you. Do you have the bug out of curiosity?
She tells you, no, we burned them. We didn't want to keep it around. They're too dangerous.
Would have been a cool keepsake.
Well, that's it to her. We got the flower that cured you.
She did the cure though, and knew of the flower.
She ignores Wave, and she says to you, "You're Hemo, right?"
Yeah.
And she's an elf, and you're also an elf, right?
Yes. Yeah. I'm a Hemo's a high elf.
Yeah, and she's also a high elf. She walks up to you and she says, "Yeah." You think that she is Sister Garaele is fairly beautiful in her own right, but she's not fantastical. She's of that plain type of beauty that just looks attractive, but not the type of beauty that you can't take your eyes off or anything. But she walks up to you and she says, She walks up to you and she says, I'm so happy that you are doing well. I was very scared for you. You were the fifth and sixth people have come to me, yet the first to survive.
Is this happening all of a sudden around here?
Well, just in the past few years, but I've only been here a few years. Phandelver is new. It's only been here 3 or 4 years. It was recently started from the people of Neverwinter. They brought in people. We're going to try to get the mines up and running again. But for now, this area around here is wild. To the south, there's gnolls. To the east, there's orcs, and the orcs are rising. I hear undead down the road near Connieberry.
And missing dwarves.
I'm missing dwarves. Sildar, my friend. Hold on a second. It's Sildar, my friend. The one who was supposed to come down and help us from the Lord's Alliance in Waterdeep. He was supposed to come here, but he said he had a commerce that we had. I had exchanged letters with him. Said he had to go north to Neverwinter and come back. I was expecting him any day now, only for him to appear in this position. I really, really wish they'd do something, because we need to do something about that town master. I don't know. The only reason he's gotten elected is because of all those damn red brands who gathered up and elected him.
Sounds like politics.
It is, but be careful, because there are these. They call themselves the red brands. They're just a bunch of thugs and hoodlums. They have been taking over. The last month or so, they've been charging people money in a shakedown. They killed one family just in the middle of the streets about 2 or 3 days ago. Their house is down there. I haven't been down there since, but they said they sacked their house or something, and the family's gone.
Ugh. Did you see the killing?
No, but I know that people did, because they reported it. Maybe you can find someone else in town who knows.
Whose side?
Whispers awkwardly.
Whose side?
Who saw it? I don't know, but if you want to talk to people that are awake right now, if you can't wait, I'd go to the inn. Everybody gathers there in the evening.
Looks around at everyone.
Well,
we should go to the inn.
I am also quite exhausted after.
Hemo's strapped himself up with his swords and daggers now.
Yeah, I'm assuming you put your stuff back on. Yeah.
If you require my sword, I am in your debt. It's been good to meet another high elf out here, but suddenly I'm feeling very far away from home. I think I need a drink.
And the
He'll
woman,
take the bottle. He'll take a drink of
the elven woman looks
Geshar's
back at Finnis, kind of like as staring at you, but kind of has one eye on Finnis. They're kind of looking at Finnis, and says, "I may need something other than your sword," and with her eye on you.
He's like strapping his shield onto his symbol of
I have daggers too.
Do you need his sword?
I've got some juggling pins back in the cart.
She laughs. She goes, "You can juggle?"
I juggled for a century, if not more.
He is adequate.
The fighting is only a recent venture.
She laughs. She laughs, and this is the first time the rest of you have seen her in good humor since you've met her. It seems like she's very relieved that the two of you are awake, and also she seems very focused on Hemo. So Gashar goes to Colin. I think she likes you.
Yeah, he would definitely say that in Elvish, right in front of her.
Yeah. No, but I meant to Colin, which is even better, because that's who you told her to last time. Remember?
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So like this interaction's going on, and you're like, no, Colin, I think she likes you. But she says you'll have to come back and show me your juggling. That would be fascinating. She smiles at you.
Hemo picks up 0. Absolutely 0 advances. He's like,
Was that in
yes,
Elvish?
I have.
No, they're talking in common. You would think
I've got
that
a fast 5 prepared, but anything else I might need a day or so to practice.
She goes, she's kind of had lips together. She nods, she goes, mm-hmm. Well, you go ahead and practice. She's smiling. And she says, please come back. And she looks back at you. And she
Hopefully
goes,
not too
please.
fast.
She looks over at Finn and she says, please. come back.
He nods.
What'd you say?
So maybe not too fast. Maybe a slow 10.
Gashar will elbow Colin though. Kind of like look at him.
All right, you guys gonna leave Sister Garaele's house?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It
Yes.
seems like we have to.
Oh, if anything happens in the night, you find us. We will save you.
All right. She says, "Thank you. I will keep that in mind. You're going to be at the inn."
I hope so.
All right.
We'll be at the inn.
Depends.
All right. You have your wagon sitting out here in front, and your cart with your mule is sitting out in front as well. Neither of them have been attended to yet. Sister Garaele looks like she has completely ignored your livestock in every way.
Yeah, it's just
Is there a stable in town
at the inn?
at the inn?
You think that this may be a stable right here,
Yes.
and this is an inn, and you're not sure who runs the stable, but you certainly can start by going to the Stonehill Inn.
Let's.
All right.
I don't know if my poisoned constitution's going to take any alcohol, but
You're gonna give it a. You're gonna
we're
give it a
giving
shot.
it a shot.
That's the old college try.
The old elvish try.
That's the spirit. Literally.
Well, I was a spirit there for a minute. Felt like it.
And these are the spirits.
Ah,
I guess it's wine.
it's a common pun.
All right. Who's going to do the talking? Gashar's not the
I will
talking
do.
guy.
I will.
All right. Well, yeah.
All right.
He kind of pushes you in front.
Hemo does not offer to juggle for room and board.
Sounds like
He's
a good
been beat
idea.
up quite a lot. He doesn't feel like it.
Well, okay. So you're gonna go over to the inn, right?
Stonehill Inn, yes.
That's-
Not that other inn, the shady one you were telling us about.
All right. You come up to the inn. The doors are closed now, but you can see the fires are burning within, the glow of light. You hear loud, boisterous voices within. You'll hear like a rise. You hear like it's like somebody maybe is telling a story, and then everyone laughs, and there's some yelling going on inside. It seems to be very animated within as you walk up to the Stonehill Inn. What are you guys going to do? You're going to walk in?
I'm going to walk in.
I make sure to bring like my cart at least.
Okay, you got to
And I
bring it up.
suggest somebody else to get the other one.
All right, you pull the
Dennis will
carts
grab
up
the other one.
in front of the Stonehill Inn. You push your way in. to the
Hemo makes
Stonehill.
a show of clutching at his chest, like, my muscles, somebody else should pull it.
No problem. All right. You walk into the Stonehill Inn, and as you immediately walk in, you see a woman holding a beautiful young woman holding two big swelling mugs of ale, almost hit you as you walk by, and she's like, begging your pardon. She swings around and makes a spin and kind of smiles at you. Seat over there. She points to an empty table. It's almost too small for you. You maybe can get
Can
4 or 5 people, but you can crowd.
Hemo just take one of the beers and drink it?
Go ahead. Yeah. All you need to do is give me a persuasion roll.
Okay. Let's see. What's my persuasion?
So you do have a bottle of wine in one hand and you're reaching for the beer.
Yeah, give me a persuasion.
Yeah, why not?
That's the spirit.
That's a 16.
Right. You grab it and you drink it, and she laughs at you. She says, "That would be 3 copper." She laughs and doesn't even stop, and heads off into the crowd. The crowd is packed, but there's just a few small tables here, and there's one that you could crowd around. Go
Do I
ahead.
have any money? Yes, I do. I'll fish the coppers out of my pocket.
I am
She doesn't seem to
going
grab.
to.
You think that she might remember you. These bar wenches, or if you want to call them barmaids or whatever they are, they seem to have a knack for understanding exactly what everyone owes them at the end of the night, and then they probably triple it because you're drunk, and then they tell you that's what you owe them. So they're very good at keeping track of their daily tolls. You are free to move about the Stonehill Inn. in the distance, you can see on the far, probably the north wall, there is a fantastically well lit bar, which lit with a bunch of candles and things like that around it. But most of the other area is kind of dim in the center area. But on the outside, you can see candles all around the windows. So it's kind of like an arc of bright, and it gets darker as you go near the inside. But this woman who's walking around, she seems to have no problem dancing amongst all the different shady spots. All right, and they're laughing at each other. What are you going to do?
I'm going to stride up to the bar and ask the bartender, "Good evening, sir. Are you the owner of this establishment?"
He laughs, and he's a young man, way younger than you're expecting. And when his head is pushed down, you kind of think he's going to be older. But when you lifts his head, he's barely past graduation. This young man is way younger than you might have expected. And he gives a smile to you, and he says, "Why, yes, sir. I'm Toblin Stonehill."
And a good evening to you. My name is Flander O'Donnell, and I am a bard from elsewhere, and I'm going to use a feat that I have called By Popular Demand.
All right, and what does that feat allow you to do?
Okay, you can always find a place to perform, usually at an inn or a tavern, possibly with a circus, at a theater, or even in noble's court. At such a place, you receive free lodging and food at a modest or comfortable standard, depending on the quality of the establishment, as long as you perform each night. In addition, your performance will make you something of a local figure when strangers recognize you in town, and they take a liking to you.
So you're going to talk to this Toblin?
Yep.
After you speak to him, by the time you get done explaining what you're about ready to perform, you just see he's just staring at you in awe, and and all of a sudden he breaks the enchantment, and he's like, "Please perform for us. We would love to have you."
Okay.
And I'll get your room ready.
Right. And I will take to the stage and sing songs of valor and great deeds, and
That one time we killed a bugbear.
do the bard stuff.
Right. You go and perform. Now, are you performing with what instrument are you playing?
Okay, I have a pan flute.
Nice. Not as good as the pot flute, but good enough.
It's still black.
You use the pan flute.
In the pot pipe.
Yeah, and then you have a lute, right?
Uh-huh.
And then you're gonna sing some songs. All right.
Yep.
As you guys are, the rest of the group is kind of moving. I'm assuming you're moving toward the empty table, but okay. As you move through, you suddenly see Flander jump up on what you're suspecting is probably the most rickety, small, tiny corner stage that there is. Barely enough room for him to stand on. And he calls out, your attention, please. And everyone kind of slowly quiets down. The hush kind of hits in waves as it kind of quiets down as you move through the area. So suddenly you can hear just the one chair goes, you can hear it, kind of sliding. It's so quiet.
Chemo sitting down.
Yeah. And all of a sudden there is a raucous chord being struck on his lute, and the crowd is fascinated. Give me a perform check.
14.
All right. If you were a nobleman from the highest courts, you may not be impressed. However, with this group of crowd, where a stray person with 2 out of 4 strings in tune is considered amazing, this group is in utter awe. The crowd laughs when he laughs. They sing. They're grabbing their mugs, and when he cheers, they do cheers, and they're raising their glasses. Flander gets them to do callbacks. He calls out to them. They call back to him. The whole place is roaring. In the meantime, you have sat down, and it's been almost too long because this woman who's walking around is clearly well overburdened by her tasks. And she walks by you and trying to be quiet and not disturb the amazing Flander. She walks up and she goes, "What may I get you, loves?"
Yeah.
I will get you a picture for you.
Do you have food? Can I have both beer and ale?
I get you both one. Beer ale for you. A beer. Do you want a beer, sir?
Beer's fine.
Aye. What you want?
Beer?
Beer it is. So
food?
yeah, bring you.
What food?
I'll bring you some potatoes. You love them.
I would like some too.
I bring them.
Are they cooked?
Aye, they have and with a little bit of gravy on them and a little bit of chicken on the side. We have some chicken left over. You came a little late for the good stuff, but I'll see what I can drum up for you.
How about a sweet mead?
Sweet mead for you. Well, we have honey mead. That's what we got. There's a honey farmer to the west.
Local. No better way.
I'll be back for you. And she spins her way around. Meanwhile, Flanders is lighting up the place. People are after every song, people laugh at each other, slapping each other's knees, and you see people one by one taking turns going up and taking a handful of coins and chucking them into a little hat he has in front of his stage that he put down. I take it you have your top hat down, or you have a basket, or what do you have?
I have a hat.
All right. They go up and they throw coins to his hat, and you see even one older woman, she gets up and she kind of saunters over to it, and she takes out a gold coin, and she starts making change from the hat precisely. She starts coining out, almost annoyingly so. Her wide hips bent over and taking up half of Flanders' frame as she starts picking through the money. And Flanders looking down, and she seems to be counting out money back, so that because she wanted a tip, but she may have only had one gold coin, and she didn't want to quite give that much. So she takes all the but she's so courteous that she can't help but to tip. So she takes all this time to kind of go
show that she had the gold coin first, and then put it in. And
she wasn't so obvious about it, but Flander's been doing this a long time. He has that eye on the money. He knows what's going on. So, and then she kind of turns around and she waddles back and sits down. She has this bright smile on her face as she watches this beautiful half elf who she for sure will be her husband in her dreams tonight. So she sits down, and the whole place is completely enamored. You go and perform for a good almost an hour, nonstop going. When you lift your hat up, it's heavy. It's heavily burdened.
You just don't get the same kind of mass appeal with the juggling performance. Everybody just wants the hooks.
During Flanders' performance, Finis would be questioning the rest of the party to get caught up on the events that they missed when they were passed out.
You get roughly half a story.
You are given 24 silver and 18 copper.
Wow.
I'll fill you in on the rest, and I'll show you the spider bite.
All right.
Several.
Did you get that, Graham? 24 silver and 18 copper?
I think I got bit twice.
24 silver, 18 18 Got it.
Yeah, it was an amazing haul.
After the cure wounds.
Now, you know, as a bard, that typically the first day of a place you get the most, but then it tapers off. Like every time you tend to make less and less, which is why bards often will move from place to place.
Right.
But right now they are enamored, and you don't think they probably had a performer in a while. You had to move a chicken that was in a little cage that was sitting on the stage. You had to move it off to the side. It was just sitting there.
Tic-tac-toe.
You had to scrape a little bit of the chicken mess off the stage. So it's probably been there a while.
Now there's a guy in the crowd with his chicken, like, yay!
Yeah, he's blue guy with a big curved nose. Yeah,
I don't recognize that.
Yeah, for some reason has a rocket with him. All right. Anyway, but when you finally step down, you're parched, and they've been handing you drinks the whole time, not charging you anything, just handing it to you. So but you've been singing and dancing and so much, you still are dry, and probably have a whole two or three pints gone through your system already. You return back, and the crowd cheers you on, and then it isn't long until the different groups are talking amongst themselves again, and the clatter and din of the whole inn rises back up to the level it was when you first came in. Meanwhile, the table has been served multiple times. You have been given your drinks, and you're having a joyous time. What are you guys going to do? Anything specifically while you're here?
Colin will ask the bartender or the waitress, how much is our bill?
She looks down at you and she goes, "That'll be 7 silver."
I give her a gold coin. I tell her to keep the change.
Wow.
The big spender.
Do
She
you
says,
have a-
you must be an adventurer.
Yeah, because you don't tip like a working musician.
I tell her, actually, I'm a calligrapher. But I'm with a group who does do that.
What brings you to town then, lad?
Well, I actually have a letter that I'm supposed to provide and talk to a local resident. Let me see if I can.
Well, they're probably here. I'll point them out to you. Who is it?
Let me see if I can find it.
So you had got a letter that was from Val's wife,
Right.
and Val and his wife had said that there were bandits around the town, and she asked for your help from you from your guild, and your guild sent you down to see if you could volunteer.
So I tell the woman I'm looking for Fell's wife.
She's like, I have not seen him for 2 days. Their home is right next to us. It's been well sacked.
Sacked?
Yes, Val was killed out in the street. I saw it myself.
What happened?
What?
The Red Brand. That's what happened. They're awful. Been shaking us all down. My husband there, and she points to the bartender. She goes, my husband there, he has to pay up every week, or they vow to destroy our goods.
This is unacceptable. Sets his beer down.
Don't take kindly to that.
So Thel died. It was about 10 days ago, and then just a few days ago, it was the last I saw his missus and their 2 children.
Where does this Red Brand tend to hang out? Where do they? They must have.
They're at the Sleeping Giant mostly. Though rumor has it they have a place somewhere around here that they're keeping up. Okay. I think the Sleeping Giant's just a front, you see. Okay. But they're there. Used to be at one point such a boisterous place just like this, but now no one goes there because you don't want the trouble. Good for us though. She sees the crowd, which is just overflowing with people, and she smiles and she says, but if you're looking for adventure, I can help you out. If you're looking for a place to stay, I can help you out.
Looking for a place to stay, definitely. That we could use.
I silver a night for you. We have enough room for all of you.
All right.
Yeah, I'm with the bard.
Is that what you say?
Yeah.
She just says, very well then.
Sweet.
All right. Are you gonna pay her the now 4 silver for the rooms?
Yes. So I'll pay her. I'll give her another gold piece, and I'll ask her for breakfast.
All right. She says, I can do that for you. And one of the nosy people sitting next to you leans over, and he seems like a farmer, like the type of farmer that the only thing he has clean on him is his hands. Because probably his wife made him clean his hands before he went out, but everything else is just covered in earth and dirt. And he says he's talking to you since he heard you overhearing the thing, and he says, you should talk to Sister Garaele. You know, she's at the Shrine of Luck. She's been looking for someone to do some adventuring for her. She recently left town for a number of days. We saw her heading up the Triboar Trail. Came back a few days later. She looked like she was wounded and exhausted.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
No problem. You almost done with that? You see a beer. You have a beer that's just a little bit left.
I said, I think we'll probably order another one, but thank you.
But you're done with that one there.
Not quite. Not quite.
Fine. All right. When you say that,
25 glasses for the whole town.
That next to him, another gentleman. He seems to be even more dirty. He barely has even a spot on him. Now, this gentleman, he is definitely not a farmer. His hands are just bled raw, and his face has nicks all over it. You think he might have been working probably underground, doing some work. And he leans over and he says, she's probably checking on the orc raiders. They've been seen east of the Triboar Trail. The town master's looking for someone to run him off. Have you talked to the town master yet?
We did see him.
He'll probably want to pay you to take care of the orcs.
Might be good work.
All right. Anything else you're gonna do now that you're here in town?
Probably get a long rest.
Yeah.
Yep, get a
Right.
long rest.
You get up to get a long rest, and you hear the people talking now. This is you overhearing them. And this woman says, the Red Band hassle every business in town, except for the Phandelver Miners Exchange. I don't know why they don't talk to them. They probably don't want to trouble Halia. She's a handful.
What was that name?
Halia, Halia, Halia. All right. As you get up, you head up to your rooms for the night. Anything else you're going to do before we rest?
Not really, no.
Rest is in order.
All right. You're going to head up to rest. And with that, I'm going to actually reward Gashar, or in this case, the player for Gashar. You're going to get inspiration for your awkward role playing and being the craziest, most awkward character talking with these NPCs. While at the same time, not being a jerk about it. I thought it was pretty fun. So you're going to be rewarded inspiration for that. So you can use that as to give advantage to any D20 roll on the table, effectively.
Okay.
Including mine. If you want to give me advantage, feel free.
Keep that one in mind.
Yeah.
Can you use it to impose disadvantage on the
No,
DM's
that
roll?
would be fantastic, huh?
Cool. Thank you.
That's getting a little close to the diviners stuff. That's
Right.
crazy magic.
Yeah. So you can feel free to do that at any point.
Cool. Thank you. As we're walking up to the rooms, he will lean over to Colin and say, did they say the miners?
Miners Guild.
Miners
Miners Guild?
Exchange. Miners Exchange, yeah.
They
Halia.
in Halia, and they're not shaking them down. We should find out if they're aligned with them or what their secret is. Maybe the rest of the town could have the same secret.
Either way, I believe we should look into the matter of these red brands. They seem problematic.
I would say let's ask the good cleric first. She might have some insights and she'll maybe feel a little bit more refreshed.
All right. Anything else before you rest? All right. You head up to your rooms. The rooms are very common. Nothing elaborate at all. Barely a bed and a little chest where you can put your stuff. But they're dry and they're clean. And the windows work, so you can actually open the windows if you want to have some fresh evening air. There's a small little candle, but there are various points of being warm, so you can feel free to use the candle. And in the morning, you lay down, and in the morning you wake to this fresh smell of cooking eggs and toast. It's filling the chamber.
Awesome.
You feel free to come down at any point in the morning and eat if you'd like.
It's the first thing Finis does.
Yeah.
I'll study my spells and then I'll head on down.
Sure.
I remind everybody that I believe I've already paid for it, so you should
All
be in
right.
good shape.
You come down and they set out plates. They set out a basket of toast. And this is like the type of, they just cut the breads open and they slather some butter on the top of the stoves. They just throw them on there and they cook them and they flip them and they'll put a little cinnamon type of flavoring on it. And I'm part of it. So it's kind of a little bit of the sweeter taste. And you think maybe that cinnamon might be coated with some honey. So it's really good. Kind of has that golden glow to it. And, it's fantastic. And the eggs they have are just effectively what they do is they just take the eggs and they lay them all out, yolk and all, cook them straight up, put some pepper and some garlic over the top of them, and then cut them up in these squares. So some of the eggs have yolks and some of them don't, which is white. They just throw them out in these trays for you to eat. They bring them out in these baskets, sort of like on the table, and they throw them out there. They bring everybody an ale in the morning to eat to wash it down. Fantastic breakfast. And you come down one by one and they feed you, and you see others around you, probably a few other people staying at the inn here.
Okay.
But very few. Most of the people you think who were actually here last night were probably just coming from the surrounding area, flooding to drink and be boisterous for the evening before heading off to the next day. All right, what do you got to do? It's the next day. You've been completely rested, full long rest.
Don't forget to take all your hit points back and all that stuff.
Absolutely.
Key points, etc.
Refresh your
Spell slots.
Definitely.
Don't have any yet.
No spell slots yet?
Not yet.
That's okay.
Gishar, this morning after he meditates, he's sort of got this kind of a tick to himself this morning, and he's like,
Is it sucking on you?
not that kind of tick, thankfully, but he's sort of like he's meditating and he's doing these gestures with his hands, and he opens his eyes and he sees laid across the floor in front of him a bunch of beers, these mugs from the ales from last night. And he's just like, nope, closes his eyes, and he just sort of keeps focusing on what he's doing, opens his eyes again, sees the plate of potatoes like laying on the floor, and he's like, and he reaches out and touches it and realizes it's an illusion. Does some more gestures, makes more illusions in the room, and he basically is just like realizing this ability that he's been sort of piecing together over years.
The rest of you see
now.
this. The rest of you see him sort of bringing up these illusions that you've never seen him do before. Now, some of you have probably known Gishar on and off for the last few months, and you've never seen him do this.
He's just grinning, big toothy, sharp toothy grin as he's going through this, finishing up his meditation.
in the middle of shoveling some of that toast into his mouth. He goes, is that a new trick?
I believe it is, unless I've done it in my sleep before. Have I done this in my sleep before?
I don't watch you when you sleep.
Hemo says no.
A little preoccupied myself at that time.
Okay. Cool. So it's the next day.
So
You're free to move about the.
All the lights just go out.
What are you going to cast?
It's prestidigitation. I just snuff out all the candles.
All right. They allow you to snuff out candles in the whole
You
area.
can make fire.
Yeah.
So
Snuff out a candle, a torch, a small campfire.
So you can do one at a
Yeah.
time, right? You can't do the entire room, but you can snuff a candle out. You can kind of do one at a time. Kind of like
You're your
yes,
own illuminator.
they go out in 6-second increments.
you're just sequentially going around the room. We're all watching like, what are you doing?
I have tricks as well.
He'll make an illusion of a candle, but it doesn't actually generate light. It's
Yeah.
just a new candle on the table in front of you. Here, make that one light.
I already know it's an illusion.
So I pick up the candle and I hold it in my hand.
As soon as you touch it, it disappears. It becomes faint.
What?
Oh, you make a real one?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
What do you cast?
Prestidigitation.
See.
I can create an illusionary image as well.
Yeah. How big of an area do you get to cover with that?
They can fit in your hand.
Yeah. So where yours is a 5-foot cube.
yeah.
This is
So
like
no,
a-
I go, wait a second. And he kind of focuses for a second. And basically, he just a wooden crate appears around him, sitting at the table, right
Like
through the
solid
table and
snake.
everything. He just wooden crate.
Now people are staring at our table.
You create a blender default cube around you.
He'll peek his head through it and look at you.
I think that was,
As soon as he peeks his head through, it gets transparent because you can
Yeah.
see through it.
Huh?
All right.
We might be able to use this.
Hemo casts Mage Hand, and a spectral hand floats over and takes a piece of toast off of Geshar's plate and floats it over to Hemo.
Wax it. Oh,
I
give me
can
that back.
do magic too.
Well, a whole bunch of new tricks for everybody.
Plenty of magical creatures around Faerun.
The next time I'm getting eaten by a spider, I will hide in a crate.
All right.
yeah, an odd odor starts emanating from
Damn it.
chemo.
From a Hemo?
What?
Hey, what you got going here?
Am I still poisoned?
Yeah.
What'd
The
you
woman
eat?
passes by you and she goes, woo.
I just ate your food. Why do I smell bad?
I also ate
It
this.
wasn't me, I tell you.
barmaid's crop dusting the whole place.
Oh,
They'd
Yeah.
never suspect the one giving them the beers, would they?
yeah. Who'd have thought it's a Spanish Inquisition serving here? All right.
Nobody would have suspected.
Nobody
that.
was suspected. Okay. What do
We
you
should
guys?
see Sister Garaele.
All right. Anything else you're gonna do before you get up to see Sister Garaele? All right. You get up and bill's been paid already, and you leave out the door. All right. Where are you gonna go?
I didn't pay my
Hold on
tab.
to the good sister, I guess.
Oh, we prepaid.
Ah,
Yeah.
Thank you,
So
Colin.
you're like, yes.
oh,
So you exit out, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I got away with it. Somebody else just paid for me.
Actually, when we step outside, Gashar will sort of scan both ways suspiciously.
All right. Yep. Give me a spot check.
Perception,
Perception. Yeah.
percussion, 12.
All right. Over here. Do you see on the map right there?
Not yet.
Hanging. I gotta be at the right level, I bet. Over here, right here. You see that?
Oh yeah. So straight on,
Yeah,
basically.
you gotta see right down here. You see 3 men, 2 of them with their backs to you, one on the other side, surrounding somebody, and they seem one of them reaches over and shoves somebody in the middle right to the ground.
I'll look
But
to
your
the crowd,
spot-
I'll
your
just-
spot-
I'll elbow.
They're so far away you can't see who's in the middle, and they don't look very big. But you see them push that person, and then they reach down after them.
I'll elbow both people and whoever's on my sides. I don't even know who's there. You guys can pick.
Finish starts walking.
And I'm going to run over to them.
All right.
I'm very fast.
All right. You run up over.
Well, I'll try to be quiet.
You run up. You got to choose. What are you going to do? Because you can't go fast and
I
quiet.
know.
It's decisions. Give me something.
He's not actually doing stealth at all.
All right. You can running up. Boom, boom,
He
boom,
looks
boom,
like
boom.
a doe.
All right.
6 foot fucking lizard.
6 foot
Yeah.
lizard running at
Half-foot
you.
lizard.
When you get to about 25, 30 feet away from them, one of them looks back and he kind of stops and he sees you running after him. And he looks at you and he says, "Oi, what are you doing here?" He
I'm
looks-
new here.
And when you from behind him, another gentleman pops up. It's this gentleman. He has a floppy hat and he's kind of a thin build. You've actually seen him once before,
He
or
was the
twice
first person
before.
that greeted us.
Yeah. And he looks over and he says, "Hey, what are you doing here? This has nothing to do with you."
I am new here. I want to understand the ways of this town. I'll slip him to stop. Just him 20-ish feet.
Yeah, you're 20 feet away right now. What are the rest of you guys doing?
I want
follow
Gashar
you.
to
I'll follow
follow.
up.
I think the group follows up behind him.
Everybody's just
wave.
starting to gather behind
Yeah, in a
Gashar.
wave as everyone and the 2 men kind of take a half step back. They seem that they're outnumbered. There's 3 of them, and there's
Yeah,
Like a
Kachar will keep
million
walking
of
towards
you,
them,
right?
actually.
Because
He's
6 of
big.
you.
How
Yeah.
tall are these guys?
Their average human height. So the 3 of them are roughly between 5'9" and maybe 6 feet tall.
Okay,
Yeah.
so he's got a 6 inches on him. He's a pretty big guy.
Yeah.
So he'll keep walking towards them.
As the 2 men back up, you see a halfling sitting on the ground, and he looks up at you, and he's kind of like it's bright and early, and you see that he has a nice big
Shiner.
bruise across his face, as if it was probably just recently struck. It's like very lightly visible. It's not black and blue or anything. It's just very lightly visible. He looks up at you, and you recognize him as the halfling that you had saw before, and he goes, "Oh no."
The one that we saw that was basically in the
Yeah.
river.
Yeah. He clambers to his feet and kind of dusts himself off. And one of the other men kind of grab at him and it says, "Connor, where do you think you're going?"
Connor, are you getting into fights?
He's like, "No, I just turned in my stash over at the exchange. I'm trying to get home."
If you're not fighting, why do you have this on your eye?
Because they just took my money.
Why did you take his money?
The two that
I keep walking right up to him at this point. If you want to intimidate, I'm
no.
gonna try.
Give me an intimidate roll.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good idea.
Do y'all know this little guy?
Yes, we saw him. He was
18.
doing some.
Okay. They as you
Dredging
walk
in a
up, they
river?
let go of Connor and they step back, and they each kind of like going to
Oh,
grab
he's the
toward
miner.
their short swords or short knives, but they haven't drawn them. They're just kind of looking at you, and they say, "Fred, we had no problem with you. We just need to do. We're just doing our business."
So
That's what I said. I want
Finis
to
wants
understand
to
this business.
Wave comes around from behind him, looking at the floppy hair, the
Yeah.
one that I knocked the coin out.
Yeah.
Her hand is lit up, and she said, "I warned you. I warned you."
And you're gonna launch at him.
Mhm.
Okay, go for it. Give me a shot.
I warned him.
I gotta bring their stuff up here.
Oh shit!
So I know what their armor class is.
14.
All right. That's exactly what you need to hit him. How much damage do you do?
11.
All right. You hit him and knock him back 10 feet, right?
He's blasted back 10 feet.
All right.
She warned
All
you.
right. He gets blasted back, and he doesn't quite land on his bottom, but he kind of staggers back, and he's heavily hurt. And he looks at you, and then he kind of stares everyone down, and he just takes off down the road. He takes off down here.
The other two of them.
Yeah. So he was right here. He's going to take off straight this way down past this shop here. And you can see
How far does he go?
he's going to run 60 feet. So
Okay.
he's going to take his full action. He's going to dash away. And the other two
I
head
look at Wave
this
and I
way.
go, "Do you want me to stop him?"
So the one floppy hat guy is going to go south, and the two other ones head north. They're just like,
Yes.
screw this. So
Before-
I'm going to give everyone a chance to do a turn. So what do you want to do?
Before he gets too far away,
Yeah.
Finis is going to cast command at the floppy head guy who's trying to run and go, "Halt!"
Ooh. All right. What's my save?
13.
Oh, he made a save.
Damn.
Easy.
He's
I
got
blew that.
adrenaline.
Yeah,
He's like,
freaking out.
thanks.
He's like, thanks, but no thanks. Oh.
Crazy warlock.
All right.
Gotta go.
Colin, do you want to do something when all this stuff is happening?
Yeah, I'm gonna use a spell. Let's pull up my character sheet. Sorry.
Because we felt bad about teasing the halfling in the
Oh, you did. Okay.
So
The guy with the hat.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cast a sleep spell
Perfect.
against him.
All right. Give me the number of hit points that they has to have remaining.
That's right.
So it's 5d8, I believe.
There were 3 of these ruffians, and 2 of them
I
fled.
don't
Is
know
one of
why
them
that-
still sort of close
I
to
hit that and
the
it gave me maybe
halfling they were beating up?
No, they went 60 feet in either direction. So 2 of them went north north way up the road, up this way, if you can see on the map.
Okay.
And one of them, the floppy haired guy, went this way.
"21 hit points."
21 hit points. All right. He's running, and all of a sudden he goes, kind of falls. The other 2 are still running. So you've already done something. You've done something. Graham, would you like to take any action in this round?
I think let's see what I can do here.
I don't know. What can you do?
I'm just checking. I think Flander will just kind of stand there, look one way, then the other, and goes, "It's a pity. I was really starting to like this town."
All right. And then you have an option to do something this round.
What's this halfling doing?
Well, he's just kind of shocked. He's looking around. He's watching people run. He's just kind of dusting himself off and looking. He's actually kind of eyeing Waif pretty heavy.
Hemo will go up to him. Yeah, she can be pretty scary.
Is that what you say?
Yeah. Do you
More
need a
like
hand?
annoying.
Do you need some help?
Yeah, they just took my money. That one there, he points to the guy who fell asleep.
He's not going anywhere.
Why don't you go get it?
Finis will walk up to that guy.
Hold on. I'm going to give everyone a picture.
I guess you could have it back. I don't know sleep. So he puts his hand on his scimitars. This is pretty much all I can do. So
He kind of looks at you and goes, great, you're all weird. And he turns around and starts huffing it up toward that sleeping guy. What are you going to do?
I'm absolutely going to get up to the sleeping guy.
You can move way faster than him. So
before
you're
him.
You're
And
Twice.
I think,
yeah.
it's 60 feet away. I'd be able to get to him for sure.
no, you can get there.
It
yeah.
really
I would
looks
do
like the
an action.
halfling's
So,
hustling, but Geshar just walks.
All right.
I'll basically stride up to the sleeping guy and I'll kneel down right over his head.
All right. Wait, anything else you're going to do this round? The other two are 60 feet away. You're going to let them just go?
My deal wasn't with them. It was with the floppy hat.
Okay. So we'll jump out of combat as you guys can circle the sleeping dude.
Finis starts taking a rope out of his pack.
Exactly. I'm going to restrain him.
All right.
I think we should go talk to Lady of Luck. Bring him along.
All right.
So Waif grabs the pouch or whatever and hands it to the halfling.
All right, you walk up and grab the pouch off the guy. And the halfling looks at it and he kind of turns. And he looks down, looks back, and looks down. He's like, "That's not my pouch. This one has way too much money in it." Hands it
Well, you
back.
should take some of it for your trouble and for the trouble in the river. I apologize.
He looks down. He looks down and he goes, he's like, "You weren't very nice, and I'm very not happy with you."
I don't know. I think that's the nicest thing Waif's ever done for somebody. Maybe just take the gold.
He looks at it and he's like, "Well, I suppose I should say thanks. Thanks anyway." And you see he turns and
I think any of that gold is from others in this town. They may want it back too.
He goes to move and he stops.
Yeah.
And he looks down and he goes, "Yeah, you're right. This isn't, I'll just take the gold that they took from me." He starts fishing out some gold.
Shar just sort of nodding to himself at that point.
Yeah. He pulls out, looks to be about 7 gold, and he puts it in his purse. He goes, "This should probably go back to the other people."
Do you know who they are? He'll take it if
Yeah.
he's reaching.
He's like, "I don't know. These people shake down everyone in this town. It's horrible.
They won't be doing it for very much longer.
These are the Red Brand. If you've been in town very long, you'll know who they are. They've been here for like a month."
I imagine we will have caused trouble today then. Did we cause
Yeah,
trouble?
I don't know. All I know is that they're gonna probably be really pissed at me because if those other two said it, you probably think you're my friends. So you probably didn't do me any favors.
We are now, right?
Well, I don't know. Are you? I thought you were gonna be.
I don't.
You seem like you were very nice, but then just kept doing stuff to me. I was like, "Why are you doing this stuff?" I don't think it was very nice.
Did you all accost this halfling?
Not
No, they
much.
didn't. They
Not much.
they kept making fun of me and they put rocks on me when I was trying to work. I was just trying to make a living.
I may have tossed a pebble or two at him.
For a pebble or two, he just kept doing it, and I'm trying to work, and I would get. I'm sorry. I
Thunder, you some thunder
that was
roll.
me. That was Alan making the
She-
mistake. He says that she just kept doing it. She kept dropping nuggets on me over and over, and I couldn't even
Were they
move.
gold nuggets?
No, if they were, we'd probably not be upset, but they were just rock nuggets. Kept hitting me. So I finally just left.
Hemo's gonna crouch down next to this halfling. Look, I only just met you, but I want you to forgive our friend here. That's not the worst thing she throws at people.
Yeah, I just thought she just blasted that guy. Just see that? That's like magic and stuff.
Yeah, so she was being nice with the pebble. So why don't we just drop it, huh?
I mean, I had 7 gold worth of stuff in my purse. If she wants to blast me for 7 gold, I suppose. I don't know. Seems like a lot of effort for 7 gold.
I don't know what Waif wants, but I don't think
It was
the
very
7
little effort. That's all for me.
gold is that. Hey, you're not helping your case.
He kind of wrinkles his nose at you and says, I'm just going to go back to my house.
Do you have a safe
Hemo stands up.
spot?
Yeah, do that.
I'm staying with my cousin. I'm at the Alderley farm.
I don't know where that is.
And he points down the road here to this farm over here.
Alderleaf.
Yeah, I can see on the map. Cool.
I just brought everything up because it was easier at this time to show everything.
Didn't that other guy run towards that way?
He was running toward this way, and the other two ran up this way.
The guy we caught with sleep was kind of good.
He's about right here in the middle of this, right where the O is in the woodworking.
Which one?
That's the floppy haired guy. That's
No, which O?
Fair enough. The one after the W and before the R.
Which one?
No, I get it.
No.
Oh, maybe probably even the one after this W. We'll say that one because that's actually probably that's probably 60 feet there. Okay. But he says, yeah, I help out at the Alderley farm. My nephew there, Carp, he's the one. He knows all about these red band. He says that the red band used to kick him out of his fort somewhere. I don't know much about it, but maybe you want to ask him.
We do.
Did you hear that? His name was Carp.
He got kicked out of a fort. We should ask him about it.
That too, yeah.
Lead the way. Wait, this man is still sleeping.
You look down and you look up, and he's already walking away from you. He just seems to be walking away. Yeah, he's just like doing his little, like he's.
Oh, the halfling is.
Yeah, the halfling just walks away. No, the halfling's just walking away. I didn't specify my mistake.
Perfect.
The halfling just got up and just walked away. He's just decided. So when you look down, he was like, the conversation's over. I'm out.
I think I'm gonna sit on the floppy haired guy.
He's all tied up.
How long are you
Perfect.
gonna
Sounds tied
sit
up.
there?
Well, that'll wake him up, right? Actually,
Right.
even tying him up might have woken him up.
No, it takes an action to tie him up. I think you can probably do it fairly slow
Mhm.
because that effectively is an athletics check, and they would fail that when they're unconscious. So I'll have him waking up now, and he opens up. He's like, ugh. He looks up, and it's really bright outside, and he looks up at the group and he goes, "Ugh, what are you doing?" He's just
Not killing you.
he's going to make an attempt to break free.
Stop.
He doesn't do it. He's like, "Ugh." He looks up at you and he's like, "Why are you doing this?"
Why are you doing this?
I'm just doing my job.
What is your job?
My job is to collect the taxes
For whom?
for Glassstaff.
Who's glass staff?
You're sure you're not probably been in town very long. You don't look like it.
It took that guy a long time to
He kind
catch
of
on.
squints at you.
He squints back.
Yeah. He goes, "Hey, I remember you. You're the one who came into town yesterday.
This is true. I gave you coin in exchange for information.
Yeah, and then you just stole it from me." He looks down at his purse and notices it's gone.
I believe you collected all these without the permission of the people.
It's my job. It's Glassstaff commands it, and I do what I do.
So I believe that is called stealing.
Well,
I believe it's extortion.
yeah. He says, "Well, we have to get money." Well, how else do you get money? He looks at you like,
Work.
"I am working. This is what I do.
You're working at stealing.
It's work.
Do less work.
If I don't work, I need to work.
No.
Learn a
Yes.
skill, young man.
I have a skill. It's called collecting money from people."
I think
He's
you
like-
need more
Breaking
lofty
East.
goals.
So Gashar will
Finis takes
sit
his
on
sword.
him at this point. He'll just literally sit down on him, sort of straddle him
All
right
right.
on his chest, and he'll look at him and he'll pull it out of his sack. He's got in his backpack. He has a quill and some ink and basically a little bit of paper. And he says, "Okay," sets the sack down. "Now, who did you take it from and how much?
What?
Let's go."
He annoyingly, begrudgingly begins to dictate the list
Gashar will write it down.
of various people in town as you sit there. He's like, all right.
From whom?
like,
When he gets like a little hesitation,
yeah.
Colin will ask him, "Who is this Glassstaff that you mentioned?"
He runs the Red Brand.
And basically, he's in the tavern. What is it? The giant something down the way?
No, he's in the hideout.
The hideout. That's
Yes.
outside of town.
Because that's where taxes get collected at hideouts.
I don't think I should say anything more. He probably would appreciate it.
Fair enough.
Well, I would also advise not
What are you, a
getting
lawyer now?
this big the big dragonborn here too upset because it's really not pretty when he does. I saw him just reach into a guy's stomach and show him his spine. It was just I was
Give me
really
an intimidate roll. Give me an intimidate roll, please.
It's just like bonus intimidation here.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think a human-sized
Keep
lizard
talking.
could do it, but his claws are just so durable.
17.
What'd you get?
It's like writing diligently.
17.
All right. He says he looks up at you and he goes, I'm telling you, everybody, I took the money from.
I suggest you start with this hideout.
He looks up and he goes, it's in the manor house to the east. And he'll show you that.
We probably saw it on a hill earlier, didn't we?
Tresendar Manor.
Yes. Was once a manor. I don't know. It's all burnt out now. We just use some of the lower floors.
Does that protect against the rain?
You're an idiot. He's like, what are you doing?
How many are you?
I don't know. I don't even go in there anymore. I don't know. I'm always over at the Sleeping Giant.
You should get a new job.
Didn't we cover this already? We're going in circles.
New job.
How
What do you do?
many are you?
At the Sleeping Giant, I don't know, 7 of us.
And the manor?
I don't know. I've seen a dozen, maybe more.
What is your new job?
He looks up at you and he goes, I'm gonna go.
I recommend long distance runner.
Is that what you say to him?
Mhm.
He looks up at you and he goes, what's that?
It gets you as far away from me as possible. I see you again, you die.
She's really hostile.
Hemo takes a dagger from his belt and starts making to cut the ropes from his feet. You're probably going to need these.
You're just gonna cut the ropes. You're gonna untie them.
Put the bottle away. And
Yes,
All right.
I'm going to cut the ropes.
He goes
from
up
his
and
feet.
just cutting the rope, destroying the rope that's around his feet.
Finis looks at you.
Not my rope.
That was my favorite rope.
so Gishar puts his pen, the quill and the ink and everything away and takes the paper and says, we will return the money that you stole.
What?
Unless you would like to return it.
What?
I'll return it. Just give it to me.
We're coming with you.
I look at him. No, you're not.
We're coming with you.
What are you gonna do with me? You should probably take me and get locked up. Then you're not a sheriff.
Remember, we heard that the town master was already in on the Red Brand side. I think we know at least one person we could go to that would be, dare I say, on the side of the, and you could also give her the list. You know her. You've met her.
That Red Brand guy looks at me and goes, hey, who are we talking about?
That's all right. I think our Dragonborn is having a little trouble too.
Hemo's just as confused. Who?
Harper.
Oh, sister.
Actually, I don't know.
Sister Garaele, got it.
Oh,
And now he does know.
That's okay. He's coming with.
Yeah.
He can
Slit the
maybe
throat.
find a new vocation there.
Whoa. Nobody said anything about sling throats here.
We are done with him.
Waif just did.
Wait, no. You don't understand. this distance running thing sounds great to me right now. I'll just do the distance running thing. I don't know how much it pays, but it seems to be like a.
Finis just goes
It
up to his
pays your
collar and
life.
hoists him up. I push him forward and start walking towards the luck shrine.
All right, you shove him forward, taking him over to the Shrine of Luck, and he has his hands still bound, but his feet have been untied, and he wanders up to it. Where are you going to take him? Into the shrine or into the house of Garaele?
We're gonna try to find Garaele.
All right, it doesn't take you long. You can just walk over there. It's very close. You walk up to the house and you knock on the door or ring the bell, whatever you choose.
There's a bell.
There's a bell.
Definitely ring the bell.
It isn't. It's kind of it's
Hemo,
more it's more beefy and jarring than you're expecting. You're kind of expecting maybe like a dainty bell, but you hit it. It's like wow, it's kind of annoying. The door opens up and Garaele comes out and smiles. Finis, you're here already.
Yeah, I got him. Like,
Yeah, he's like oh, what are you doing? Why are you?
We need to talk to you for just a little bit. We've had a little
Bring him in here right now.
we've had a little encounter with the Red Branch.
Yeah,
Is it
I know.
safer in there or out
I
here?
shove him forward.
Okay,
to the
walk him
door.
around.
I don't want to see people. Did anybody see you with him?
Maybe.
Yeah, he had
A
two
halfling.
allies with him.
Two allies.
You are stirred up a hornet's nest now.
That's why
Yep.
I'm wondering if we should move him outside of this area rather than inside of your area.
Or we could just slit his throat and put that.
Why would you do that?
He was stealing.
He is.
Don't just sort of sit him out in the town square as an example to others.
He's a waste of time.
You still hang people here?
Slit his throat.
I mean, that's after you slit his throat.
Good. We can hang him by his tongue out of his throat.
She doesn't seem too keen on this whole throat slitting thing. She's
My gods, no. We've already kicked his ass pretty thoroughly.
she's like, we can take him over to there's a small jail in the town master's hall. We can go put him there, and then maybe we can
The
figure
town
out.
master will then let him out because he's
I do have
He's
a
in on the
list
racket.
of,
Red Branch as
his
well.
targets. He admitted to me.
What's
And
that?
I show the list. I have the list of the targets he said that he stole these from. And I have the
Sack of money.
And she's like, what are you doing with that?
it's evidence.
Well, I don't know about the town master. I know that he is in league with these red band in some ways. I wish Sildar were here. Well, I mean,
He's in back.
I wish he's like, I wish.
Finis just like
Yeah.
tries to cast Spare the Dying just in case one more time.
All right, you cast
Doesn't
the spell.
I'm
So
still
that she said,
I'm still there.
she said, we really need the Lord's Alliance to send us somebody here who can run this whole. I mean,
no,
first Iarno, now Sildar.
no, it's okay. We're here now. We'll help you out.
If you recall, Iarno was originally the one Sildar came down because Iarno was here and he disappeared. And then Sildar was going to come to figure out what the Lord's Alliance was going on. And now Sildar is gone. So
We need some information from you.
she says,
To help us out.
What do you need to know?
Here, I will be back. And Gishar will grab this guy and walk away.
Okay.
So you guys can talk in private, basically.
All right, you
Come here.
drag him away.
Colin will ask her. There's the leader of this group of Red Branch is something staff, glass staff.
Last step.
Glass staff. I heard it. I've heard his name around town in whispers. He's apparently some kind of a wizard. I think they call him that because he has a glass staff. I think that's what I heard. It's almost too obvious.
And they're all head up, kind of hiding up at this Trisunder Manor.
Yeah, that's what I hear. She said she looks kind of out their window as she's talking to you. I think the lower levels, that manor house has been ruined for forever. As long as I've ever been in Phandelver. It's been probably back when the orcs raided it. I don't know. So I don't know where they're staying up there amongst the woods or camping, but we don't go up there.
Okay.
All right. And then what are you guys gonna do now?
Well, I'm gonna talk to this priestess and I'll say, I believe that you're a harper.
And she looks and kind of gives you a knowing smile, like a little grin. Like she can't hide it. She's not very good at bluffing.
Okay.
And she says, what made you think of that?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Harper
Doesn't matter, Colin says, but he says, is there a possibility that there are other Harpers nearby that could possibly lend us a hand if this gets too big for our 5 companions?
She says, well, I'm the only Harper in this area that I'm aware of.
Fair enough. I'm kind of wondering if
the Harpers are so cool.
our first approach should be to try to
The Masonic temple sort of thing.
go to the Sleeping Giant and empty that out, and then go to Tresender Manor, or if it might be better to do it the other way around.
Don't you ask her?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe more like that.
She says, I don't know. I mean, I don't even know what you're going to find in Tresender Manor. It's
Well, I'm
a
just
bunch
wondering
of-
about, how many people are going to be trying to put a knife in our backs, because obviously that's going to start now.
I mean, the only people I've seen around town come from the Sleeping Giant.
Okay. This glass staff, he obviously doesn't go down to the Sleeping Giant. I take it he's just up at the manor.
I don't even know what this glass staff is. It's just hearsay.
Do you know who the owner is of the Sleeping Giant?
Yeah, it's a bristly young dwarf woman. Her name is, as I quickly look it up in the book of lore. Her name is Grista.
Grista. Excellent.
Yeah, she. I don't know much about her, but she has been around here for a good year or so, way before the Red Brand showed up.
Okay, so maybe she's under their pay or influence at least.
I don't know.
We want to help you with the orcs, but the problem is that we can't do 2 things at once.
She goes, I don't care about the orcs. I mean, I do care about the orcs, but that's not really what I need help with. She said, I need to find answers. So I came here to find answers from a spirit that lives up the Triboar Trail,
Finn's ears perk up.
a spirit of the dead. And I went there to try to speak with her, but there are guards, and these guards exist around the area that she lives in, and in the town, the ruins of Connieberry. They are nothing but ghostly images of people, and they caused me great damage, and I barely escaped my life.
Yeah, we heard that you came back here very, very badly wounded.
So I need to find answers. I'm looking for answers from the spirit for something else I came here for.
I agree, but I think perhaps maybe the Red Branch needs to be taken care of. Obviously, you're going to basically clean out your own house of rats before you worry about anybody else's.
I agree. If this town is going to flourish, I think the Red Brand need to go.
Are there enough people in town that would, dare I say, resist another group from moving in, doing something similar if we were to remove them?
This was what Sildar was coming down for. We need to get the rest of the Lord's Alliance down here to bring some soldiers. But for now, she tells you, at least we can take care of this problem. We could send word to Waterdeep, but it might take
Months.
a 10-day or more before anybody shows up. And who knows what's going to happen there. I think now that we've riled this group up, we're gonna be in trouble. And most of these folks here are just commoners. They could swing a miner's axe. I don't know what good that's going to do.
They got no stats.
They do have a stat block for commoners, and if you do, and they can all be sidekicks too, which are even cooler. All right.
Okay. We can count you then as an ally.
Oh yes, I am your ally.
All right, good. Any other questions? Who's still with me? Just you.
I will have more questions about your spirit quest after this matter is dealt with.
All right.
Say, Is that poison gonna come back? Do I gotta take anything?
She goes, no, but I'm glad you said something. Here, I had extra. I think that I should at least. I think I should give them to you just in case you need them. And she comes back with 2 vials, and she holds them out to you, and she hands them to you. These are 2 vials that she's made from the rest of the flour that you had given her.
Oh wow.
She says these are protection from poison potions. There's 2 of them.
Hemo's going to give one of those vials, hand one of those vials to Finis. Here's to keeping the bells quiet a little longer, huh?
He clinks it.
Yeah.
Puts it down.
Wait, no.
No.
1 hour.
So no, you
Go fight whatever poison things you gotta. The potion's still going for an hour. No.
So where would one go in this town to buy like weapons?
There's a
I would go to-
blacksmith right around the corner.
She's like, I would go to see the smithy. If you're looking to buy some weapons, he can probably help you. He's a surly old sod of a dwarf, but he usually fair. He deals with people fairly at any rate.
I'm actually going to wander to the smithy.
You head down to the smithy. The smithy's workshop is wide open. You can clearly see, though it's early in the morning, this smithy has probably been open many hours already.
Yeah.
All the doors, all the walls unfold to create almost like a 4-pillared stump that leads. And you don't even see much of a place where they probably sleep, but you do see several billowing fires that are being pumped. And you see an old grizzled dwarf, and you see 2 young human men working there. And this dwarf just pumping the air into the fire, kind of stoking it up. And you see the 2 other younger men are bringing over carrying a pole over, and inside is like this little bell of a stone, and they use it, and they're pouring some liquid, some super hot liquid. It's probably metal or molten into some kind of a bar mold. Looks like they're making bars. They probably make bars first, and then they hammer the bars into weapons.
Okay.
So, but as they do that, you see the grizzled old dwarf looks over watching them do it, and looks up and catches you walking up. And he looks up and he says, "I'll ask, what can I do for you?"
I need some throwing daggers.
Daggers to be thrown. You got it. What? How many you need?
What is a brace?
What's that?
What is a brace?
A brace? Oh, what is the? Ooh, you have to speak a little clearer, my child. You're asking what the price is?
Yes.
They are 3 gold each.
For a brace? For a dagger?
You want a dagger?
I want the brace of daggers.
I don't know what you're asking me for, kid. What you want?
What is a brace?
What you want?
So I have that statuette that we got
Mhm.
from the thing. What can I get for this? Right.
You got the frog?
Yeah.
He looks at it. Let me look at the price. He takes the thing and he looks at it and he says,
Is that with or without the hat?
give me a diplomacy roll, which is called, what do they call that now in this game?
Persuasion.
That'd be
Yeah.
persuasion.
You should be all right. Dad, don't you have good charisma?
I have good charisma, but if I could like intimidate
Waif
him.
has all the charisma, but none of the manners.
21.
Yeah. He goes, all right, I give you 30 gold for it.
30 gold. Okay. Can I have 6 daggers?
Well, that's way under 30 gold, right? Because that's 3 gold apiece.
And then give me 10 gold.
He looks and goes, "Die, that's done." And you see he puts it in his little pocket there, and he walks back and he fishes out some daggers. He lays them out. He lays about 12 of them out in front of you. He just grabs them in a clump and he lays them out for you to choose the 6 that you want.
Try and pick the 6
You pick up 6 that look
decent.
nice
throwing-
enough. They all look
daggers.
of decent quality. You don't think he's some master craftsman, legendary craftsman that people write about in songs, but
I'm
Oh,
not looking
look,
for magic ones.
this one was accidentally a masterwork. I'll take
Yeah.
this one.
yeah. But you think he makes a perfectly adequate metal weapons.
All right.
And you pull it out, and he drops next to you. He just kind of slams them down. He puts two sets of 5 gold. They kind of land in it. They don't like it's not well counted out. He just slams them on the chair, the bench that he laid out the weapons, and then he
Does he have like a cloth I can wrap them up in?
the daggers. No, this isn't a full service. This is not Waterdeep. This is a backwater little town, and with a smithy that pounds out weapons.
All right. Well, I'll grab them up and grab the coins and walk off.
All right. Aye, this is a strange one. Aye. All right.
Okay.
All right. You walk back to the group.
Yep.
All right. You manage to come back to the group without a problem. You guys see Waif as you guys are collecting outside. She comes wandering back down from the way of Barthen's provisions.
And I just hand 6 daggers.
Oh. Well, thank you.
And walk off.
These are pretty nice.
So my question is now, what are you going to head off to now?
I had an idea.
What's your idea?
Okay. You all saw those 3 goons beating up that halfling in the street. They're
Shake the one
They-
goon we have.
so what I was thinking
Okay.
is they don't seem very picky about their choice of help. Right? I mean, look at this guy. I think
Hey,
yeah, you.
He's like pistol.
I think I've been a mercenary for a few years now. I think maybe we're outsiders. We're all pretty violent folk. I think we could.
Talking about.
I think you might scare all the normal mercenaries away, but maybe I could. I mean, look at me. I'm all scarred up. I'm armed to the teeth. Maybe I could go in and offer myself as a mercenary, and maybe I could get in with them and see what their crew's actually doing.
okay. You want to infiltrate the Red Brand?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like anybody can get in. And
I mean, I'm not
Go
sure
down to
I would
the-
pass.
Go down to the Sleeping Giant. You can, I can communicate with you. I can send you a missive again, like I did before.
What's the range on that?
the only problem is those 2 that saw all of us and got away.
Right. Are they gonna rat you out?
They might, but they also might not, since one of their group is missing.
Why don't we?
I don't know. We could use the fact that they ran away in the first place against them. And
Why don't we just attack the giant?
because
We've
then
seen the quality of
I'm
people
assuming
you
30 more
take
people
in.
will be coming for us from the manor, and I don't.
They
know
have
if
a
we can handle
hideout.
That
They
much
said
of a
12.
mismatch.
120 feet for the message.
That
You
would
said 12, not
cover
And
most of the
spell can
sleeping giant.
go through solid objects.
if we poke the ordnance, we might as well kick it.
Well, that's the thing about
That's-
signing up for a mercenary job. If it goes south, you're already ready to fight, right?
Okay. With that, we're going to find out what happens next time because we're getting out of time. So we're going to wrap it up. So today was an interesting sort of day. We started off by having to go after the flower, the buttercup flower, to help save our fallen comrades, Hemo and Finnis. You managed to bring that back, and they're back in the swing of things.
Hemo is eternally grateful.
That's great. From there, you went to the Stonehill Inn and had an evening of joyful singing and parading and having a great time, and found a little bit of information from the inn. You also heard a lot of talk about the Red Brand and the orcs and things like that. You also heard that Sister Grail had recently returned, and when she did, she was heavily damaged. Sister Grail, you found, was most likely a harper, but the final thing is you found that your friend Connor was being badly beaten by these 3 thugs that they call the Red Brand, and you saved him He was actually too honest to actually take the purse from you. It irritated. You can tell he was irritated, but he couldn't do it.
Well, you've also kind of learned how chaotic good Gashar is.
Yeah. Yeah. And we had a great time role playing. But I think that this is going to be the end of the role playing for a bit of time, because I think next time it sounds like you guys are going to get down and dirty. Whatever that might be, we're going to figure out next week.
Till then.
Oh, you have to like and subscribe. Also,
You got to do both, and the bell, all three.
you hit the bell too. All of them. Hit everything. Anything down there, just hit it.
Because Finis likes the bells.
Yeah. Yeah. When you hit it, it's like tolling the bells on people. All right.
Yeah, if you don't click the bell, it's because you're close to death and you take extra damage from his spells.
All right. You don't want to have Total the Dead cast on you, so you might as well like and subscribe. All right. Thanks a lot, everybody. I'll see you next time. Yeah, bye.